got me tiptoeing around you like you're made of glass. Got an invincible fence letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft. You're playing it cool, bending all the rules, talking way too loud, and you're talking rude. You're playing a game, driving me insane. Your heart is back, and it's a fact, no turning back. You got me tiptoeing around you like you're made of glass. Got an invincible fence letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft. When I use my witchcraft. Come on. You got me tiptoeing around you like you're made of glass. Got an invincible fence letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft. When I use my witchcraft. I've got my moves, I got my song. When I turn my mojo on, I'm feeling fine, I'm feeling strong. It won't take long when I use my witchcraft. When I use my witchcraft. Watch me use my witchcraft. I'm gonna use my witchcraft. You're playing your cards with your queen of hearts. When everyone folds, your fork still holds. You're placing your bet, showing no regret. Close your eyes to hide your lies, roll the dice. You got me tiptoeing around you like you're made of glass. Got an invincible fence letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft. You're playing it cool, bending all the rules, talking way too loud, and you're talking rude. You're playing a game, driving me insane. Your heart is back, and it's a fact, no turning back. You got me tiptoeing around you like you're made of glass. Got an invincible fence letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft. When I use my witchcraft. Come on. You got me tiptoeing around you like you're made of glass. Got an invincible fence letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft. When I use my witchcraft. I've got my moves, I got my song. When I turn my mojo on, I'm feeling fine, I'm feeling strong. It won't take long when I use my witchcraft. When I use my witchcraft. me tiptoeing around you like you're made of glass. Got an invincible fence letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft. You're playing it cool, bending all the rules, talking way too loud, and you're talking rude. You're playing a game, driving me insane. Your heart is back, and it's a fact, no turning back. You got me tiptoeing around you like you're made of glass. Got an invincible fence letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft. When I use my witchcraft. Come on. You got me tiptoeing around you like you're made of glass. Got an invincible fence letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft. When I use my witchcraft. I got my moves, I got my song. When I turn my mojo on, I'm feeling fine, I'm feeling strong. It won't take long when I use my witchcraft. When I use my witchcraft. Watch me use my witchcraft. Gonna use my witchcraft. You're playing your cards with your queen of hearts. When everyone folds, your fork still holds. Your place in your bed, showing no regret. Close your eyes to hide your lies, roll the dice. You got me tiptoeing around you like you're made of glass. Got an invincible fence letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft. You're playing it cool, bending all the rules, talking way too loud, and you're talking rude. You're playing a game, driving me insane. Your heart is back, and it's a fact, no turning back. You got me tiptoeing around you like you're made of glass. Got an invincible fence letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft. When I use my witchcraft. Come on. You got me tiptoeing around you like you're made of glass. Got an invincible fence letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft. When I use my witchcraft. I got my moves, I got my song. When I turn my mojo on, I'm feeling.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Nerds with Dice. Tonight we're playing I Hunt, but before we get to the game, real quick, just want to mention that that is the wrong link. I will fix that. But we have merch, and you can check it out from the second link in the chat. Not a lot there, but There's some like logo shirts. There's a couple of wrist specific shirts. So feel free to check that out. We are also sponsored by Grinding, a coffee company, a Black and LGBTQ plus owned coffee company, and you can either take the code Nerds with Dice or follow the link to get 10% off over there. They have really good coffee, as I am told. And the last thing for tonight, let's see if I have it saved. I do not. Hold on. Well, I have the wrong link, but easily fixable.
Oh, good.
The casting call for Millennium Nights Chrono Mask coming sometime next year, probably January, likely to be on Fridays, is up. And if you're interested in checking it out, there's a link in the Twitch chat, or you can find it over on, it should be on the Nerds with Dice Twitter or on my personal Twitter at Nerdy Teddy. You can find that over there. Power Ranger inspired game. Chrono Mask is the third installment of the game, so feel free to check that out.
Nice.
Passing it over to you.
Hey, cool. I mean, it's Christmas time. Merch is always good stuff. Support your favorite shows. T-shirts are good gifts. All that good stuff. Welcome everyone. I hope you're having a good holiday season. Sorry we did not play last week. It was it was an airplane day. We were getting to Penny Arcade Expo Unplugged in Philadelphia and all that other good stuff. It was a good weekend, but glad to be back. And I think for future installments, next Thursday is like the 25th is Saturday, like the 23rd. So hopefully it'll be far enough away from the actual holiday that you guys can watch. We're planning on playing. And then after that, in kind of in between Christmas and New Year's. So we're going to continue doing holiday stuff here, I guess. I don't have a holiday themed episode planned. Maybe I should. Very tempting.
But especially considering what the holidays are like for people in their situation.
That's fair. Yeah, exactly. Millennial holiday. Yes. It's it would not be a Santa Claus episode. You guys would absolutely deal with Krampus. Because there you go. Yeah. Eye hunters have to keep Krampus, who's continuing to kidnap children and put them in a sack, and you have to get him to stop it. Okay, now I have to write that. Crap. Okay, one shot. Fair enough. Anyway, that's next week. This week, our Eye Hunters, we're going to kind of jump in a little bit with probably getting a better look at Sky's car. Because Sky and TJ and Anthony are kind of taking the highway, taking I-80 out towards a suburb of Des Moines called Grimes, Iowa, where there is a big Amazon warehouse, and they're going because they have all kind of as a group decided to swipe on to a job out there, kind of a time-sensitive job, apparently involving demons that pays reasonably well. And yeah, demons in an Amazon warehouse, go fig.
Seemed appropriate.
So yeah, I mean, I kind of figured that like the maybe, yeah, it's kind of, this is, I guess, kind of TJ in the back seat with the laptop open. Or, yep. Well, I guess my question is, yeah, what is your mobile device? Is it a laptop? Is it an iPad? I mean, what do you go around with?
Probably some kind of fancy tablet.
Okay. Is it like tricked out stickers and stuff, or?
Well, yeah, as well as being, fast and powerful, and doing all the things it's supposed to do.
Okay. And I mean,
'cause I'm looking for portability here, so.
Sure. So I guess is that and like tethered to your cell phone for wireless, or I guess that's a question for Sky.
Probably.
Does your car have wireless? Would that be something you would have bothered to put? Yeah, fair enough. Okay, because one, that's an expensive piece of equipment, and why when you've got a phone? Okay. That makes
Mhm.
sense. I just like, I mean, that could be a thing. Is
Unlimited data, dude.
yeah, fair. I'm just kind of curious how James Bondy Sky's car is, but you know, I guess we'll get there. Yeah, just don't piss her off, Anthony. You're probably sitting in the ejector seat. Anyway, oh dear, my phone is making noise. Let's fix that. Sorry, everyone. You, silent mode. Thank you. Anyway, some kind of notification. But yeah, that's probably something like this. I imagine tapping away, doing research and Googling and things like that. But yeah, kind of, yeah, the camera would probably kind of see some kind of like, to give the audience an idea what's going on. It's just some kind of page on general demonology and you know, or actually you've probably found Google for a web page talking about industrial demonology.
Ooh.
And whether, you know, that whether that's a true thing or not, the author of the article believes that there are, you know, that part of the reason why the United States is as bad as it is because in the 19th century, Rockefeller and Carnegie and all of them basically made pacts with the, and so on and so forth. And basically, while that's not, you know, that's not as much of it probably should be, the author is kind of getting into like how the processes might work and mass production and mass summonings and crap like that, you know, just
I'm gonna bookmark that.
It's one of those that it's yes, except maybe you went too far and should, oh no.
No. It's bookmarked for later reading. It may not apply here, but I will read it.
It's very much a TJ oriented page. This is something that TJ is like, no, this all smacks of truth, and like deep capital T truth, deep stuff. Yeah. But yeah, the parking lot at the Amazon warehouse is one, very large, and two, pretty full all the time. There are spaces kind of up front though, that are relatively empty all the time. There's kind of some visitor parking essentially that's closer to the door, just that's kind of reserved for VIPs and stuff like that. And it probably feels really good to pull the car in there and park and leave it and know what are they going to do. You know, it's like, all right, yeah, you want us to not solve your demon problem? Okay. But let's see. But yeah, I mean, getting out and walking up to the door, there is a certain amount of basically inside there's it's just a matter of there are security guards. There's basically the doors open and lead pretty much straight into metal detectors. And the guard that looks up and says, yeah, y'all don't have badges. I'm sorry. How can I help you? I mean, how can I direct you?
I left mine inside. We all left ours inside.
Sure. Then just step aside. We'll take care of you. What shift are you supposed to be on?
The next one.
Okay. Sure.
Really believable.
I mean, are you wanting to bluff your way in? I mean, you don't necessarily
I
have
just kind of
to.
started talking. Yeah, grifter.
Yeah. Okay.
My grifter's okay. I'll try.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, again, sure. I'm down.
What was that? 4. Great.
Jesus. All right. I'm like,
Yeah. Let's look at the dice there.
Nice.
well, okay. You're still gonna have to. Anyway, come on through the detector, and we'll get you hooked up with probably get you hooked up with temporaries and stuff like that. So, what are you trying to bring into the warehouse? I'm going to assume that Anthony's probably trying to bring his swords in there.
They got a sword and 2 guns.
Okay.
They might set the sensors off, I think. Maybe.
Yeah. I think there may be a little bit of a kerfuffle. This is like at which point the whole thing kind of falls apart because you can't even bring your own cell phone into an Amazon warehouse.
Is that true?
Yeah. You can't bring no headphones, no cell phone, no electronics because anything. When I worked there, you can't bring in your own cell phone because they also sell it there, so they don't know that you didn't just pick it up off the shelf.
That's incredible.
Right? It's to prove that you can't. No one gets headphones because they're too easy. You could just have stolen them. It is a whole thing to prevent shoplifting. Now they pipe music into the theater, and the guards.
The level of paranoia is.
It's kind of just a level of loss prevention is just something else. But yeah, I mean, the way it was explained to me is that there's just it's the economics of scale because they have 300 people on a shift and 3 shifts a day. So that's
shrink. Yeah.
a whole bunch of even if one person out of that 300 steals something or 1 in 100. 1 in 100 shoplifts something. That's 3 things every shift. That's 10 things a day. Just over. Expensive as a $800 cell phone or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of get it, but you're not wrong. It is still just like I can't have my own cell phone. I could prove it's my cell phone.
Well,
kind of.
I mean, that too, and also you'd have to take a lot of $800 cell phones to dent Amazon.
Well, I mean, yeah, pretty much exactly. But if they don't even want the dings or the scratches. I mean, those spaceships to edge of space, those giant flying phalluses don't pay for themselves. So, that's a lot of cell phones in that machine right there. Anyway, but yeah,
we would have to leave them in the car.
If you actually work there, you get a locker.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, but yeah, there's a little bit of a kerfuffle, and several security people come over, and one of them and they all have lanyards and badges. All the lanyards are and all this kind of, and basically one of them is okay, are y'all from the app?
Yes.
He kind of glances at the table with the guns and the knives and laptop, and I'm going to imagine there's probably 8 or 9 really strange things out of TJ's bag. Like silver metallic medallions and
large cross.
Okay. Yeah. It's like, I was kind of guessing
Cross, holy water, taser.
Okay.
Nothing that you can't get legally.
Oh, sure. And there's a certain, he's kind of glancing over it and just kind of glossing and look, we can't, you don't get, I'm going to have to send some people with you, but, we've had to shut down one of the modules and I'm already getting emails about it. So we really kind of need to get you to solve this quickly. So I have here, and he kind of lays out, there's 3 clipboards with paperwork on it. It looks like you're buying a cell phone. Just 6 or 8 pages of we've kind of minimized it. All the places you need to initial are highlighted. Just all it says is that that we're not, that your insurance is that's not on us, indemnifies we can't afford to pay if you get hurt. You guys have insurance on your thing, right? That's a thing, isn't it?
Sure, if it makes you feel better.
But we just gotta. It's a lawyer thing. this would be maybe an opportunity for, if you guys were going to social engineer anything, now might be a good opportunity, because he doesn't want to let you in without signing a waiver.
I don't sign anything I haven't read.
Well, and you're more than welcome to. You can pick up the clipboard and start flipping through it. That's fine.
Yeah.
I think, well, actually, there you go. I think maybe understanding the paperwork might be a role as well.
Yes. I would like to do that simply for the fact of, I've heard stories about, the evil that can come from big business by signing your soul over to them and stuff.
Me? Would I do that? I mean, look at this face. Would I do that to y'all?
I'll actually sign it. I'll sign the name Walter Mellon, and then I'll put, like, in the initials, I'll put, like, DTF and 42069 and just whatever
Nice.
asinine bullshit I can put in there.
Okay, awesome.
Hoping to not let them notice, but to have them think that I did sign.
Okay, then I like the idea of that, and I think just going along with is I'm gonna call the picking it up and signing it, so that's like creating an advantage essentially, and to give you a bonus on the skill roll because you're playing along, and it's one of those if they check kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I do. That's amusing to me.
Me too.
Fantastic. God, now I need to set some difficulties on here. I feel like God, I don't have the skill. We're all learning this game too, so I'm still at that point of 3 weeks in. I don't have the skill list memorized. I absolutely need to bookmark this page. Anyway,
My instinct is grift, but
yeah, well, I mean, grift is like directly lying and just kind of fooling me. And no, I mean, I think that's basically it. I think a grift to kind of have the body language and to pass off that, yeah, no, I've totally done this right. Don't bother looking at it, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Right. The only other thing I think is socialite. That could be close, but that doesn't seem as fitting.
No, but I feel like this is an overcome with grift. Yeah, socialite is kind of more of a don't you know who I am? Why are you making me sign this kind of thing? So, but I think for understanding it, might I could see like justifying organizer or could just for having to deal with paperwork, but academic as well to kind of skim through the legalese and recognize boilerplate. Even social worker, even though social worker normally is just kind of that mental thing, but that social worker skill is frequently having to fill out paperwork and stuff like that for folks and doing the community kind of thing. So go ahead. Yeah, I think I am gonna let that 4 just ride. I'm gonna let that roll, and they don't look at your form either. They just kind of like, awesome. He just kind of got through that really fast. That's awesome. So the supervisor there is kind of like, oh great, he doesn't care much more than I do. I'm not gonna look at it any more than he did. Wonderful, yay, and kind of puts it on a pile. But yeah, I think TJ is looking it over. Sky, what are you doing with your clipboard of paperwork?
So, what I'm thinking is that Sky doesn't sign it, just keeps talking until they leave, hoping that the guy just kind of forgets that she never actually filled out the paperwork. It keeps asking questions, just trying to like influence him into thinking she did it, but without actually doing it.
Interesting. Okay. Just kind of Yeah, okay. Trying to think how that. I think I can see that as an overcome. Probably honestly, to not overcoming something and not get noticed is more of a spy thing. So that might be a good call. I could see influencer to just kind of get them to just kind of fast talk and kind of BSing your way by.
Right.
Particularly if and if somebody there are some advantages to create here. Actually, probably there's just some things on the scene. There are clues you can pick up. Obviously, this guy is stressed out. But I'm gonna say TJ just because kind of a passive thing with investigator and occultist being so high for your character that there are sounds in the background
That don't sound good.
That probably shouldn't be sounds of stuff getting like knocked over, lots of things hitting the ground, sometimes broken broken glass smashing, and not as many screams, but every once in a while kind of a little.
I'm flipping through the paperwork and I kind of look up over the paperwork at the guy and I look at him like, are you serious? I have to do this before I do that?
I mean, again, it's an overcome. You can social. There's definitely ways to kind of push him. I mean, influencer would be, convincing him, and what I'm saying is you could probably use those like sounds. Let's call sounds of destruction an aspect on the scene that if you wanted to tag it for a bonus, you probably could.
Okay, so I'm rolling influencer.
If that sounds good to you, yeah.
Oh, sounds fine.
I mean, you can. I mean, you guys could also just sign the waiver. That's.
I don't want to sign the damn waiver. I don't trust these people. Are you kidding me?
Fair.
Considering demons are involved, I think that's the best move.
So that plus the +2, so it'd be
okay.
+2.
Fair is fine. That'll get you. That'll get you. So fair is your difficult. This is not a hard thing, but it's Amazon. There's paperwork for dang near everything.
Right.
There's structure for going to the bathroom. They take notice anyway. But yeah, so past that door, basically just the metal detectors. There's a little door off to the right that leads to lockers and kind of a rec area. There's ping pong tables and big TVs, comfy couches kind of thing, which are right now empty.
Is the admin still with us?
Yes, and like 2 security guys, because they can't let you just roam around the warehouse, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's like they don't look like they want to be there, and they're not like right up on you, but they're kind of, you're all in kind of a little group of about half a dozen people with you 3 and the 2 security guys and the supervisor guy. And the 2, I mean, it's not like the 2 security guys look like football players or anything, but they've got comfortable shoes and they have tons of stuff, sometimes probably unnecessary stuff, hanging off their belt, like the little clip with a little mag light and like a multi-tool and just stuff like that. One guy's got a pair of zip ties on the back of his belt because that's the thing that happens a lot at Amazon, that you have to arrest someone. But at any rate, but once you get past that, the place that kind of just opens up into this giant room, because all of Amazon warehouse is just wide open, and the area directly in front of you it's just that kind of that smooth concrete where the light reflects off everything, and things are marked out in tape, just big pallets of stuff, making just stacks with enough room for like 2 people to walk side by side between them or whatever. A level above that, there are conveyor belts that go up into this huge area, and there are conveyor belts that come down off of it. Past that, at the very back wall, which is probably about a half a football field away from you, are just rows and rows of garage doors from pretty much almost one end of the building to the other. To your left and to your right, there are constructed inside the warehouse these kind of tall structures. They're 3 stories tall and just kind of railings and stairwells and stuff at multiple points on the sides, and built into each layer is just rows and rows of shelves, almost like a library. And just so there are floor level and 1, 2, 3, so there's like 4 levels of this, and it just goes. It's like a whole third of the building on this side and a whole third of the building on the other side. On to your right, there's a lot of that. You can see a lot of people milling around, or apparently milling around. Just at a glance, they're just kind of just moving, and there doesn't necessarily seem to be a pattern to it. But they're pushing little carts, they're pushing bigger carts. There's stuff on everything, and they're just kind of going every which way. Though a lot of people are glancing over towards the other side, which is where all the noise is coming from, and that is this. There's sounds of crashing stuff, almost constantly. Things getting slammed against the ground. You can hear breakage and like things being knocked into another. And every once in a while, if you kind of continue to walk, you'll get like a glimpse down one of the alleys, and you can see something get just thrown or just flung from one side to the other. Oof. So, yeah. Now what? So the supervisor's like, that's the problem. There's just demons in the pick mod.
Demons.
I don't know what else to call them. Little batwing things. They hands. They grab stuff and they're throwing them at people.
How big?
I mean, whatever they could pick up. I mean,
No. How big are
like
they?
a grill.
How big are they?
I mean, not as big as a person, but I don't know. Corgi size? Maybe a little bigger. Demon size. Does size matter? It's not more expensive, is it?
Size always matters. Does this match up with anything that I've researched?
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about some of the research you've done in the car and things like that. I want to kind of get into this thing, and that you are going up against some kind of these creatures, and that you kind of got a chance to kind of research demons on the way over here. So I would say this probably, this certainly seems to fit under occultist.
Right.
Because, esoteric weird knowledge here. So,
I'm gonna roll it.
I think let's figure out what we're doing. You're attempting to discover what they are, which feels like creating an advantage, in this case, discovering an advantage in the form of knowledge about these things that you can use against them. Things like weaknesses or whatever. And so let's also make sure stunts are good for you. We can kind of flash back to a thing where you were doing this research, maybe in the car.
Sure.
Maybe this is kind of that cut scene where we see I think kind of the style of the show I have in mind is one of those things where you get cut scenes in part of the screen while other stuff is going on. So maybe while you guys are kind of walking towards that pick mod and towards the disaster area, we do kind of get an idea of this kind of slash of about a third of the screen, kind of showing the back of Sky's car with TJ, and it has like her iPad just kind of and kind of scrolling through and finding stuff. So when you have a scene like this is dedicated to research, you have the edge. So get your edge die. I still need to make that macro. Dang it. These are one of the things I didn't do at PAX was make macros for the game at home. But when we wind up doing this, it's slash roll D6 plus 3DF. Anyway, you have the edge, and access to a situational aspect related to some research. You can use academic or cult skill to defend if you want to. The other thing that you've got, that if you create this aspect, because you're a lore hound, you get an extra free invoke. And because you know stuff, you can hang on to it if you need to. So that's kind of fun. So you get this is a good scene for you. So yeah, I think rolling to create an aspect here
Yes.
of what this thing is, and just remember you're rolling with the edge, which is good stuff.
So you said D6 plus 3DF?
Yes. Yeah, the 3DF is the 3 fate dice. There we go. So yeah, all right. That's a 3. That's what, and what's, well, add your occult skill as well.
So it makes it a 7.
Okay, 7 is very good. That would normally be an aspect with 2 invokes, but because of the lore hound, it's an aspect with 3 invokes. These sound like some kind of imp.
Oh, an imp.
Yep, and make sure I've got my page. I'm going to write this crap. All right, and okay. All right, where did I put this? All right, I kind of want to give you a little bit of information on imps.
Mm-hmm.
They are, they're kind of, they're on the minor side of demons,
Mm-hmm.
but they're small, I mean, comparatively, and sometimes they're hard to see. So it also maybe makes their size misleading as well. They can be full on invisible. These apparently are not.
Ew.
It varies. It's the main thing. They tend to personify a desire or addiction or action. Like you may have a beer imp, and there is nothing that is going to stand between that imp and his next beer, kind of thing. But yeah, anyway, so what their particular goal is, you may be able to infer from their behavior, but they are kind of single-minded, and what appears to be the problem is that each one isn't incredibly hard to deal with. A lot of times physical force will send them back where they came from. Sometimes magic is required, but yeah, the problem with imps comes when there's a whole bunch of them, which appears to be what's the case here. But I think with that roll, what it sounds like, and particularly with the other thing, is that these are kind of poltergeisty.
Ooh.
in that their main goal seems to be to be flinging things, right? That this is just stuff coming off the shelves and flying at high speed and with good force. So that's going to be part of the problem. Speaking of which, we kind of get everybody a little bit into the pick mod, and I will probably go into a conflict.
Before you do that,
Yeah.
I approach my partners in crime,
Mm-hmm.
and I hand them a small bottle of holy water. Each of them is
Okay.
like this big, and
Sure.
a plastic rosary bought off of eBay.
Nice.
So
Very good. Nice. And are you going to explain why at all?
no, but I'm interested in. I'm not going to explain
Or-
why. Well, I'm going to tell them. I think they're imps, and these may be helpful. I just want to see the reaction of the other 3 who don't get them.
Fair enough. Yeah, you kind of pass these out to Sky and to Anthony, and the security guards are kind of like, oh, I mean, they're not right up with you anyway, so they're kind of like, okay, great. But yeah, it's like one of them doesn't care. The supervisor, like one of the security guys is just like, whatever. This is all BS, and he just appears to be completely nonplussed with the whole thing. And this, why are we letting? He's got a very much of a why are we letting these people in here sort of attitude. In fact, probably this is probably the guy that while you guys are walking, hands you all visitor badges and lanyards. Like you got to wear these while you're in the building.
Okay.
And it's just like, yeah, it's just like it just says visitor and there's a barcode. There's no picture. It's like a light blue badge. Anyway, but you can see that the supervisor's badge is yellow. The security guys is orange. That whole. This appears for I think Sky and TJ. It maybe I get who's got the higher influencer. TJ, yours is there. Sky's about the same. Okay. Anthony, yeah. It just seems to be like they care more about the status of the badges than you guys probably do. As far as they've got blue badges, whatever. I don't have to care, kind of thing. All right, but yeah, getting into that mod, and you've got a rosary, you've got some holy water, Anthony, and yeah, and when you get in there, I don't know if necessarily going to be. Well, I'm trying to figure out if this comes out as a combat or how this works, because there is definitely, we might have to do it that way. But this is very much a whole lot of hit and run, right? This is a find the thing, and because they're all over, you can hear crashes on like the 4th floor of this mod, and where you're going, there is stuff on the floor, and there is so many things in this place.
Can I case the place?
Yes, absolutely. But when you get closer into this mod, basically each one of these shelves is probably about 30, 40 feet long. Mm-hmm. There are 8 sections of them. And then like 160 rows. And each of these 8 sections of shelves is like 8 rows high. And each of them have just myriad number of bins and barcodes. And in every bin, there's just all kinds of crap. There's books in one, right next to it is paper clips, and the one next to it has baseballs. You could spend hours in here. There is no order to it that you can tell. It's not like it's not an alphabetical, sometimes there's cell phones, just boxes of them in a bin. Sometimes it's tabletop role-playing games. Sometimes there's sex toys. It's it's Amazon. Everything you can buy on Amazon has a bin somewhere in here, kind of thing. So I'm trying to think, but all of this eventually is going to get fired at you at some point.
Great.
So, yeah, I apparently I'm using a junk jet from Fallout on you guys. So, coffee mug, teddy bear, just
bowling ball.
Yeah, bowling ball,
mac and cheese,
right? And let me also make sure something that I want to get done beforehand. I need to make sure everybody's got the right amount of fate points. So Sophia should have. Refreshes 5. All right, I need to deal several to Sky. I think everybody else is good. Okay, cool. But so I'm going to copy and paste. I'll put the a couple aspects on the board for you. I've got crowded shelves, and that should be something you guys should be able to see. And I think probably something along the lines of, I'm going to do this because TJ has put and that is going to have, I need to put a number of free invokes on it. There we go. So we got poltergeist imps, and kind of the things that you know about poltergeist imps, and then one more. I think of call it hit and run, because that is kind of the general tactic that they're taking. They are more of a just like each round they're probably going to take a shot at you, and you'll get a shot back, but after that it's kind of one of those finding them. So part of the action kind of for y'all is to maybe kind of corner them or kind of thing back there. The other thing that you would know, TJ, is that they need to have some kind of source. They'd have to have some way to get here. Imps have to be summoned, right?
Oh, so someone did this.
I mean, sometimes, well, there has to be a point at which they force their way into the world if they did it themselves.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But that's very hard for them to do. Or at least it's certainly harder for imps to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like a full-on bigger, badder demons can probably just kind of force their way here. But more often than not, they're brought, they're invited, kind of thing.
Okay. I relay this information and let them know that we're looking for where they're coming from.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably going to be more of the challenge. I think that's probably the best way to kind of do this with the sheer number of imps and things like that. That's kind of just an environmental hazard of them flinging stuff at you, and the real challenge here is finding the source in this kind of maze-like library of everything under the sun. So,
yeah, I was gonna say I wanna start looking for that. I wanna see if I can't find some clues to where it is or something. You know.
Okay. All right. Tell me, kind of, give me an idea. Think of like so challenges in Fate are kind of like D&D skill challenges,
right?
In a way. So, kind of tell me what skill are you using to kind of address this problem or finding this thing? I mean, and a lot of it is, yeah, it's. I'm super flexible. Tell me how you're justifying using whatever skill you're planning on using.
I'm planning on using investigator, and I'm just looking for clues, like where you know.
Okay, that is a good one.
Oh, look, there's spilled paint over here, and the drops are going this direction and stuff, kind of thing.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and like I said, you can be creative with it. You can, tell me, you can justify it with. I mean, you could justify maker, probably, kind of, that kind of thing. So investigator is going to give you a little bit. I think probably investigator is going to give you an idea of kind of like leaning towards areas of most destruction, which is I'd say probably actually going to lead you upstairs.
Okay. I did roll a 1.
No. Yeah. So that's just kind of like, okay, there's a lot of kind of debris coming down from, and it's that there's an edge to the mod that happens before there's a space between the edge of this structure and the back wall where all the garage doors are, which is honestly where the fleet of trucks that delivers all this stuff basically backs up and gets packed. But in that space between the two is an area for all the packages to get kind of staged so they can get rammed into the trucks. But there's also kind of an open area where there's just a whole lot of pallets. And your reasoning for thinking maybe there's more destruction upstairs is there's a lot of debris that's just kind of painted a pattern there, like it's fallen off the edge. It's kind of lying on the floor of the ground floor, just around where where it's been thrown over the railing or whatever. It's kind of like, oh, hey, look, like the way pavement gets wet when it rains, but not on the patio, kind of, that kind of thing. It's like, oh, the floor has protected. But yeah, it does occur to you that if you wanted to use Hacker, that there are computers in just like throughout the module. They are normally used by troubleshooters to help people find things, but there are terminals like all over the place, which might be useful to you. There's basically every couple dozen feet or every so many stanchions or whatever, there's like a computer terminal. Every so often there's fire extinguisher, there's water fountain, that kind of thing. It's all placed by design and stuff like that, so that people walking through the mod can, I only have to go this many steps to get help, and I only have to go this many steps if I need some water, or if there's a fire, I only have to go this many steps to get the air conditioning. But also throughout the other thing I would say, that throughout it kind of interspersed within the mod, there's also conveyor belts on every floor that will go kind of up the next floor, down. They all eventually lead to the shipping area in the middle that you guys walked under. But it is also a way that you can get around things. It is also, I don't know, maybe it'll come up as a thing that you can kill an imp with. The reason the badges are tearaway in case you get it caught in the conveyor belt. That's one of the things they just yell at Amazon all the time. Don't get your badge caught in the conveyor belt, kind of thing. So I guess it has to have happened at least once, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, so okay, cool. So I mean, kind of leading the idea that maybe something upstairs has happened. Anthony, how are you kind of? I mean, there's a certain amount of just kind of driving them in ahead of you, hunt them down until they're gone, kind of thing. I don't know what is Anthony's strategy. Fighting demons is kind of his thing. So,
Anthony is stealing cell phones and throwing the boxes, and kind of like pantomiming, or not pantomiming, but being like, "Whoa, that one almost hit me," trying to like convincingly make it seem like he's dealing with the imps while just casing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I'll say electronic devices too, just like whatever is like small enough to fit in the jacket.
All right, sure. God, that has to be grift. That's just be. I'm trying to just to be able to.
Because there's no like spy is more, I feel like, locomotive.
I mean, that there's just like, it's more of a, at this point, it's not getting noticed. So I will say the hit and run poltergeist everywhere is definitely something. If you need to, you can certainly up your skill roll with that.
Would that expend it for everybody?
It would use a free use of the aspect, but I mean, you may not need it. But right now, your difficulty you're going up against is fair. It's +2, because these guys their job is to pay attention to you, but again, the environment may distract them, and that's kind of.
Could I use a paid use of it? Like, could I spend a fate point?
Oh yeah, you can always use a fate point. Yes, you can always use a fate point. Yes.
Yeah. Let me put one on the table.
Well, you may not need to. I mean, if your roll is great, then that's
can
a
I
nice
do it
thing
after
about,
the fact?
Yeah, always. That's a nice thing, is you always can do it after the fact. So.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so I'll do Grifter.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how this goes. 5. I guess I don't need it.
Yeah. I say yeah. Yes. This is so I hunt. This is absolutely. I mean, it's like this is a thing that's going on, but in the process of helping, you're just kind of, I just see, just grabbing something like small and expensive off the shelves or floor. I mean, there's no, this play is not clean anymore. There are like DVDs on the floor. There's Blu-ray discs. There's books. There's, again, like stuff that, there's some broken glass, but not much, because almost everything is packaged. But there's package that sounds like broken glass when you kind of nudge it with the foot. Kind of, there's kids' toys. I will go hoarse trying to list all of the things that are possibly on the shelves in an Amazon module. But it's just, and it is just this random conglomeration. Clothes, like throw blankets, just kind of just like little Christmassy things.
feels like an ascot too, and like ties it on and tries to act
Oh,
good
God,
at the
yeah,
whole
I
time.
mean, well, you get one that kind of unrolls as like a cape. It's it's like a Green Bay Packers throw blanket. Just just has the Green Bay Packers logo.
Oh, sorry about
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, if you want to tie it up as like a cape, it's just like like I said, it's a blanket with the Green Bay Packers logo on it.
that.
It's this sports branded stuff. I mean, there's food. I mean, cans of Pringles,
Perishables and stuff. Yeah.
chocolates, stuff that's sealed. I mean, Amazon does Whole Foods too. So,
Oh, that's right.
well, that probably is. I imagine that's probably a different warehouse, but there's anything that's sealed up, anything that's like non-perishable, like you say, Twizzlers and chocolates, anything like that is just anything you can think of is probably in an Amazon warehouse.
Try to get some more next turn.
There you go. Fair enough. So TJ, who may actually be solving this problem. But yeah.
Well, I'm the last one in line. So
Okay.
Everybody
Mhm.
else, especially.
Well, I mean, it's you
is going
three,
ahead of
and
me.
it's you three, and the Amazon security people are back, particularly once you get to the edge of the pick mod, of their.
Well, I'm kind of ignoring them because they're authority
Yeah.
figures and I don't like them. So, but
I
as
mean-
of the three of us, I'm going to stay at the back of the group.
Okay. That's actually going to help Anthony out as far as swiping stuff, really. But yeah, fair enough. Tell me what your solution is for what's your step here for finding the gap or the tear in reality or whatever it is. I mean, you've got this great occult skill.
Yeah. I mean, if I can figure out what direction the throwing is coming from, I can probably like
Mhm.
triangulate where they are in relation
Sure.
to where they came from.
Okay, I think and I kind of figured more how so I'm wanting to do this is okay, go ahead, and then and then the imps will get to go essentially.
Okay. Do I get to use case the place with that?
Did we know? Okay, we can. Or yes, and I think case the place
Makes an aspect.
Yeah, if you create an aspect, and that's I'm trying to figure out the skill with that. I'm pretty sure that's with. I want to say is that with Gorilla? Is the skill that uses that?
I hope not.
I'm trying to remember which one that is. Is that or is that a spy? I think it's a spy. That's what it is. Yeah, there we go. So it's a spy check to case the place, and that's creating that advantage to. I think ease of mobility here, right? Would be what you're wanting with it there.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I rolled a 4.
And that's going to get you 2
2.
invokes on what we call this. Familiar with the layout. And there we go. I'll just put 2 on that and 2. Okay, save it there. Basically, it doesn't take you long to figure out the pattern in all of these things, as far as like, okay, I do this and, fire extinguisher is going to be this many rows that way, or whatever. You start recognizing, okay, there's letters on every, on the end of every pillar. And then the fire extinguishers are this many, or water fountains are this many over, and on these, every 5 letters or whatever. So stairwells are here, and here kind of thing. It's, it's probably not quite too far to jump from one level to another. If you like came down, you could probably almost get your feet on the railing, that kind of thing. You just like, okay, you've just almost like kind of built it in your head or whatever as far as that goes, that kind of wireframe of the mods to kind of have an idea. I mean, this wouldn't help you for like finding where the Cabbage Patch Kids are, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of like, okay, I know where the ends of the rows are, or you know, this many, and I'm a stairwell, I can go down, kind of thing. You are the opposite of lost,
Okay.
whatever that is.
Oriented.
Yeah, absolutely. As you know, like just nailed it, kind of thing. It's one of those they could if they handed you a scanner gun, you'd be probably as good as somebody who's been there for a month, kind of thing. You know.
Cool.
So it's one of those just that it's just one it's you know it's just you just got it lasered in. So all right, so cool. With that knowledge though, so how is that helping you find the source here?
Hey Google, cancel alarm.
It looks like you have set 2 alarms.
Seriously?
Which do you want to cancel? The one on weekdays at 9 p.m. or the one every Sunday at
Like
8:50
An
p.m.?
errant Alexa going off.
Yeah,
Cancel. Google cancel. It's Google being.
No problem. They're still set. We're good.
Perfect
I
phone.
hate you. I hate you
That's-
so much.
The time is 9 p.m. I couldn't verify your voice, so I can't retrieve any reminders. You can
That was
either
just
try
trolling
again
you.
or verify.
Oh, somebody please clip our trouble with technology. That's so good. Oh man. It would have been perfect if it would have been Alexa, because that would have been tied into Amazon, and
Yeah.
clearly the
Yeah.
imps are
Buttons
messing.
are telling you.
Clearly the imps are messing with things. But oh man,
No, this is just. I only bought it because you had it at your place, and I thought it was cool.
I mean, but that's and the reason I got Google is because I didn't want a direct tie to Amazon. I had to go with somebody else. I just did not want Bezos in my house.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm okay with Google in my house, but just anyway. So this source. Sorry, Spooky. Trying to keep us on task. So are we thinking what's okay, what skill would you like? I mean, I think investigator is not a bad one. Occultist spy might actually be handy here.
Probably investigator or spy.
Your call. Tell me how each one what is TJ doing? I mean, how are you figuring? I mean, I know you're kind of like going towards the stuff being thrown at you.
Mm-hmm.
So is that does that feel more like investigation? Kind of you're kind of
Yeah, actually, yeah.
eliminating possibilities as you go. Okay.
That does
Alright.
sound more investigator than spy, because spy
Alright.
sounds a little more sneaky, and she's not.
Right. Okay. Yeah, spy might be trying to get around the perimeter and maybe avoiding the things, but this is all right. Cool. I like it. Go give me investigation. Then you've got a lot of stuff you can add to it if you need to.
I got a 3.
Good's a good result. Are you happy with it?
I could add to it.
Okay. Would you like to? I mean, all of the aspects on the board have at least one free aspect that hasn't been used. I'm not sure how crowded. You'll have to tell me how crowded shelves or hit and run help you, but maybe the other two. I can maybe even see how hit and run helps, because if you're going towards them throwing things at you.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
So that would make it a 5.
I have a kind of a devil's bargain for you to borrow an idea from Blades in the Dark.
Uh-oh.
I won't charge you for the free invoke, but I'll use that +2 against you when the time comes for them to actually throw stuff at you, because you're literally walking towards it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're going towards them throwing that. You're kind of leaving yourself open a little.
Mm-hmm.
Your call. I mean, you don't have to take the deal. You could just like spend the invoke and then it's not free anymore, but you could do that and leave the free invoke on there. Just you might get hit.
I'll leave the free on there and just take the 3.
Nice. Oh, okay. Just leave it at 3. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Fantastic. And all right. All right. So yeah. and they're all going to make attacks at. In this case, there are a bunch of them, so just kind of grouping them up and throwing things at you. It's each of you is going to have basically 5 shifts to defend. So the roll, everyone's rolled a superb. They've rolled a 5 against you. So this is where you can use athletics to dodge. And this is kind of like things are coming at you. Boxes of magic cards and potted planners, coffee mugs, that kind of thing. But yeah, so everybody needs to give me an athletics roll to dodge, and if you get a 5 or better, great. If not, you'll take a number of shifts equal to the difference.
I specifically dodge behind Anthony because
I love it. Okay, how do we use Anthony as an aspect, I guess?
With his roll of a 5, why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. So yeah, that's 0 shifts. So yeah, you get out of just about everything. That a tie will give the attacker a boost. So they'll have a boost against Anthony, which gives them a +2 next time. But other than that, TJ,
0.
right? Okay. Even if I'm generous and give you a +2 for having Anthony to dodge behind, that's still 3 shifts of damage coming at you.
This is why I don't.
Probably why good not taking the +2. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I mean, taking a few shifts is not.
I think
3 shifts is not good for you.
I am going to use familiar with the layout to find something to duck behind.
There you go. That is an excellent use of that. All right.
Like jump in a bin or
sure.
Duck behind something.
Oh, there's plenty of things to duck behind. There's shelves and shelves on shelves and things, or just hitting the ground, or there are these little carts that are basically just the size. They have 2 buckets on them, and just kind of they're about the size of a filing cabinet, but it's still something. So it's one of those. So if you do that, that will reduce you down to 1 stress to take.
Okay.
So which is kind of a near miss. Basically, the whatever they're throwing at you kind of hits the bucket on that cart and knocks it off, or kind of into your face, that you're kind of like kind of thing. Not really damage per se, but just kind of having to deal with that. And then Sky, what'd you get for your defense of the flying monkeys here?
Oh, sorry, forgot to roll.
Yep, that's all good. Da-da-da. All right, cool. That's 2 stress in your direction.
Okay.
All right, fair enough.
I'll just
it's not
a whole lot of stress.
Yeah, to see, it's kind of like, it's one of those. Basically, you're assaulted by like a box of Bic pens that comes open when it hits you, and there's scattered all over the floor around your feet. It's just kind of a God, Jesus, kind of thing. It's stressful having to make up all the crap that's in an Amazon warehouse. I did this to myself. Damn it. Why didn't you pick the other 2 jobs? No. But yeah, okay, fair enough. So we'll kind of go back around. You see the 2 security guys are just trying to kind of keep an eye on y'all as you kind of move into the room, and like you guys go up on different floors, so they're having to split up. And the supervisor guy is just kind of doing this, looking at the floor, and I know what he's thinking, because you have no idea how much of a thing it's going to be to try and refile all of that stuff. So I know that's what's going on in his head. It's like, even when this is over, This is a disaster.
Right.
But anyway, because no one knows where anything is in a warehouse, in an Amazon warehouse, except the computer.
Yeah.
And it basically, somebody puts a thing in a bin and then tells the computer that they put it in that bin, and that's what the computer thinks it is, until somebody comes and gets it out of the bin and tells the computer that they took it out and sent it to shipping. If somebody moves shit other than that, no idea.
It happens at my job all the time, and we're just big pallets of turkey. But people don't like to rescan things, and they move it over to things, and then nobody can find it.
Yep. It's just they have to. Yeah, the audits are it. Hey. Real life intruding on our fun. Yes, I mean, it's just, aren't we glad that we're not playing the crew that has to fix this problem?
Yes. Heck with those guys.
You know, you go to work and say, hey, you know all that crap we lost? At least it wasn't imps. So fair enough. I guess we'll go back around the same way. Sky, you've got like a little bit of progress to kind of chord towards where this problem is. And TJ is in agreement with you that it's not on the ground floor, and we're all kind of moving up a little bit, but kind of narrowing down the space. Do y'all have a strategy? This can also be a teamwork thing. If you guys all want to do the whole thing once, then just we pick a skill, and anybody that has it at least +1 can help, and then whoever has it at the highest can roll it. That is a thing that works well in Fate and definitely works in iHunt. And like if we all decide that we're going to investigate some more, that is absolutely fine. Basically, we just have to figure out who the primary person is. I think if it's investigate, it's probably TJ, or if we,
I only have a 1 in investigate, so
which is enough to give a bonus.
Well, my investigate is a 3.
Okay, so that would give you a +4 in this.
Sure.
Yeah. And Anthony's stealing stuff, so that's Well, it's your roll +4.
Yeah. Do you want me to roll investigator then?
I think that sounds. I mean, before I decide on a roll, I don't want to pitch stuff to you. Tell me, kind of give me an idea of what you're doing to narrow this down. I mean, how do you approach? You're trying to find, this kind of the center of effect of these creatures in the library.
Well, right now I'm trying to keep myself kind of scarce.
Okay.
Is there a computer nearby?
There are every once in a while. There's a terminal that they use for like troubleshooting and stuff.
Are the security guys still with us?
I mean, they're trying to keep up, but they're not trying to keep you from. They don't know how you do your thing, so.
I look at one of the security guys and says, "Can you call up the security cameras?"
I mean, yeah, probably usually they're wired into the security office.
Well, I just want to see what's going on up there so I can get a better idea of what we're heading into.
Okay. Because there are like, on the ceiling of each level and stuff. They're the kind of the dome. They're the dome kind. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, all right. And then Sky, what's your?
I think I'm just gonna make my way up the stairs, and while I go, I would like to spend a fate point to say that I pick up a baseball bat off the ground.
Oh, sure.
To take with me up there.
I mean, yes, you have your pick. Honestly, you have your pick of, if you given it. Is there something you'd rather have than a baseball bat? I mean, machete, golf club?
No, baseball bat's fine.
Fireman's halberd thing? I mean, that's probably in there. Fireplace pokers?
Right.
Are you fired
Okay.
in Halberd? Is that a thing?
It's a Halligan. Halligan's what they're
that's-
called.
Yeah,
That they use
Halligan.
it's like a
it's like a specialized pry bar. It's got different-
basically to
it's
get
got
they
different.
use it to get doors off the hinges and like knock stuff open and things like that.
break
Oh, sure.
windows. They can
Yeah.
do a lot with it, and they can
Yeah.
use them to anchor point to repel off buildings and stuff. They're very useful.
Yeah, it
tools.
is.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's one of those, they're allowed to do quite a bit of property damage to your building if it keeps you from burning to death. So,
And how?
which,
Good to know.
yeah, I'm good with that trade, to be honest. If it happens to be my building, yes. Please,
Not worried about the property damage at that point.
yeah, wreck the house if it keeps me alive. That's fine. I could insurance is I've got that. That happens.
Sure.
Anyway.
But yeah, I'll
it's-
just take a baseball bat. That's
Sure. It's like it's an aluminum bat, and it's one that's got like printed signature from God, trying to think who would be somebody in the I do not know Major League Baseball
don't
stars
either.
right now. So yeah,
I don't
but
even.
it's like signed kind of thing. Not like one of those printed signatures on it. It's
Right.
like the so and so special bat or
special
whatever.
edition thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can charge $15 more for it or whatever. Hmm Yeah, fair enough. Aluminum bat. Aluminum bats are very effective. I like them in zombie games too.
They're also very good against small targets.
Hmm Oh, look, a poltergeist about yay big coming at me at high speed.
And
Fair.
then I'll walk up the stairs.
I will call. I'll call that pick it. Yeah, I think that's something that, in this case, it's just kind of a scene thing that in Amazon that creating an aspect like that is pretty easy. So, that's just reasonable. I can't even think why would I make you roll for that? Just sure. They're not easy to hit, so all good. But we'll give that as like a bonus to your defense kind of thing when they
Yeah.
are coming at you. That works. Okay. So and TJ, did you roll that investigate?
I did
No, you
not.
didn't.
I will do
Okay.
it now.
All right, let's get that as far as using the security cameras. All right. Nice. Well done. Then yeah, with the help of the security guard and kind of getting in there, and it's a longer conversation than you'd like because he's kind of stubborn about it in that is not letting let me do it. No, tell me what to do kind of thing. He's not letting you in his system, but he will let you say, pull up this camera, or can you pull up over that way, or and so it takes a little while, but you do kind of like narrow things down. So
Sure.
Top floor is not it. It's probably on like the third floor where you think
Okay.
is kind of the center source here. You've kind of
So-
got that narrowed down, but narrowed down to at least the right floor. And
What ways are there to get up to the third floor?
there are probably I believe there are like 8 stairwell,
Okay.
and there's 8 stairwells and 2 elevators.
Okay. I point out
Okay.
the stairwells to Sky and Anthony. I'm like, here.
Mhm.
They're probably
And
in there.
And the 2 stairwells are kind of centrally located, but on either side of the conveyor belt that feeds down the center.
Mhm.
Basically, the conveyor belt kind of splits the mod in half on each floor. So you
Mhm.
got like 4 sets of shelves, conveyor belt, 4 sets of shelves. The idea of somebody is and it's fun because you can walk under them. Basically, the idea is there are low points, like basically where a couple of aisles, there are high points. Not every, but you can kind of. There are ways to get past them, but they still run through the whole thing. It is very Rube Goldberg. The
Isn't it dumb?
idea is that the person getting stuff off the shelves fills up the bucket and then just puts the bucket on the conveyor belt and just grabs an empty bucket.
Okay.
There's stacks of them by the conveyor belts, and they all have barcodes on them. Everything has a barcode. Everything. Employees have barcodes. You guys have barcodes now on your visitor badges. That's why these imps are ruining everything. They have no barcodes. That's what it is. Totally, it's the lack of barcodes. If only people are organized. But so Anthony, are you taking out imps, or are you taking advantage
yes,
of
I will
distraction
contribute
again?
now.
All right.
I would actually like to spend a fate point as well.
Yeah. And honestly, using a fight or athletics or something to reduce the number of imps by just blasting them to smithereens would also help. I mean, that's
I
a
have
way
a
to
little less
contribute.
faith, even with how high my fight is. I am gonna not take the gamble of trying to hit them. I'm gonna spend a fate point to say that I find a cordless humidifier.
Okay.
I'm gonna crank it and pour the holy water into it, and then I'm gonna make my way over to Sky and TJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
That feels to me like a maker role, because you are making
Yeah.
you're a MacGyvering a thing here, and that's
Well,
awesome.
I am using it for its intended purpose.
Yeah, no.
But I am
I'm
hoping to
Yeah.
also empower it a little bit. So yeah, maker
Yeah.
sounds right. My maker
feel
is
like-
abysmal.
Well, okay. Well, that's the thing. You've got a buddy. Do you want to kind of bring the tools to Sky and say, "Hey,
Yeah,
I want to do this."
yeah. I'll just bring it all to Sky. Sky,
This is like, I have an
I don't
idea.
have the skill.
Okay. I have an idea. You're better at this than I am. I love it. Okay.
Should I still
Okay.
be at 2 fate points?
No, I think I've got you at 5.
Okay. So I'll be at 4 now.
Yeah. Basically, if you look on Roll20 right above your name on the bottom, there's that little fate
yes.
point. If you click on that, if you click on it, it opens a box, and then when you spend it, you can drag it out on the board. That way,
Oh.
that is a little easier to keep track of than changing your character sheet every time. Just to throw tokens around.
Oh yeah.
It's intended to be easier anyway. But all right, I feel like okay. Why don't you,
Okay, so what
Yep.
what am I making here?
he's got holy water and a humidifier. Let's talk us through this idea. What's
So
this-
the idea is that we crank the humidifier beyond what its normal heat capacitance is. Pour the holy water in to make something that one might use as like a smoke grenade or like tear gas, but for imps.
It's like one of those steamers kind of things that
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can find those. I mean, this is like, again, you can declare a story detail with a fate point. So you could just say, I find this on the shelves. This
Okay,
device that will spray a mist.
You kind of want to turn it into like one of the bug fogger things, like the mosquito fogger.
Yeah.
I love that.
Something for crowd control. Since they're so
I
small.
love it.
Okay.
I love it. Awesome. Okay. That sounds like definitely a maker thing. And
And I
TJ
rolled
or
a 5.
Perfect. TJ, why don't you give me one more investigate to locate the source of this, and then we're gonna have one more defense. Nice. Okay. So you figured out basically on the third floor, it's not quite in the center, but a little off center, and you kind of get up there, and you can see on the floor there's some kind of device. It's hard to see because the air above it is like has that sort of mirage heat haze kind of thing, but it's a weird color because it's not colors that human eyes are meant to see, because it's colors from some weird not our plane of existence kind of thing.
Okay.
And out of it is coming more imps. So we're going to come back from break with everybody making a dodge, and then see if this whole holy water bug bomb will solve the problem.
All right. We'll be back 10-15 minutes. We've got a little video for you. You can check that out while we're gone. Make sure you get up, stretch, do all the things, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money? iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt. With iHunt, slay monsters in your spare time to pay off credit cards, get caught up on your student loans, or just have a little me money. iHunt. Be a hero. You pick the hours. Are you unemployed? Struggling to pay off your student loans? We have an answer. iHunt.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to more iHunt.
Yes. iHunt, where everyone is under attack from everything in the warehouse. Basically, a herd of flying imps with I guess at this particular Pokemon gym, these are poltergeist types, ghost guys. I guess ghost type. Somebody help me with Pokemon. Anyway, ghost type Pokemon throwing stuff at our protagonists, and in Amazon warehouse there is no shortage of stuff to throw. So we have a plan, and we even know where we need to execute it. But to get there, we have to get past a veritable horde of these kind of blurry, hard to see, again, about corgi size, kind of traditional bat-winged looking little demon things. And yes, there are more of them up here. So your dodge is now you're beating a 6 to, yep, just for the sheer number of stuff being thrown.
Is that athletics?
Yes. Barbie dolls and Hot Wheels cars and staplers and staples and
yikes.
Oh no. Okay. So TJ got a terrible result. And that's that is it's a game term. It literally is each numeric value is given a word. Terrible is actually one of the words. It's for -2. It's a bad result. Now that's it's a result from it's a -2 on the die roll. It's I don't know. That's something
Yeah, but
you
I got
might.
I got 3 minuses on that.
Well, yeah, but 3 minuses and a plus is still only -2.
2.
I mean,
yeah.
it's getting 3 minuses and no pluses. That's really. I mean, it's up to you. You can spend a fate point or you use an aspect to give yourself a reroll, but in this case, the +2 might be worth it as well. I would be maybe looking at getting a couple,
Yeah.
but even so, you're still looking at taking some kind of consequence,
Yes.
probably to stay up, because you've got to deal with right now 8 shifts of physical damage.
I will take. And I wish they had made
Is
this
there any
screen
sort of like
different.
damage mitigation that I can do?
Well, stress
I-
that you could do for them.
Yeah, just so like
Yes. I'm
I do have a stunt
Tell me-
that I haven't established.
okay, and I'm liking where we're kind of going with that. I also have a question for you, because a little while ago, I believe on an attack roll, we got a superb result, and you've got the best defense. Do you want to lock that in? Because that's the thing you can do. You can spend a fate point to lock in that roll and jot that total down. And then at any time in the game when you're making a defend action, you can spend that saved roll in defense. That's
I
a
like
thing.
that. I do also have that for the opposite, basically, where if I get a good attack roll, I can do the same thing. And
That's
use
what
it
I'm
for
saying.
defense.
No, exactly. That is the stunt I'm talking about. I wanted, if you wanted to retroactively spend that fate point and have that stunt
Oh,
there,
I see.
because you rolled really good. You rolled a 5 earlier.
Was that
I mean,
that was with athlete though, right? Like, can I do that? Because it says with an attack roll, I can do that.
Okay. Yeah. No. Maybe we
Yeah.
do need to do it on attack. Oh well. But let's see. But yeah, I think. But honestly, I think it's just a thing. If you want to tell me how, yeah, you can defend for someone, just kind of tell me how. How are you defending, and for TJ? Because I mean, and this course puts you on the hook for the damage too.
Yeah.
But yeah, what does that look like? What does that look like when it's like coming at and TJ is going to get like brained in the face with like a toaster oven or something?
That exact thought. I think it's just a simple interception. I just put my body in the path of the projectile and get
Okay.
brained myself. Yeah.
All right.
With a
Okay,
toaster, you
shield.
said? Did you say a toaster? Yeah, meat shield.
Yeah, it's like a toaster oven. Yeah.
Good God, that sounds heavy.
They're not light.
Yeah, like it's one of those countertop things, but still. Ugh.
Yeah, it's 6 shifts. It's 6 shifts of damage.
Yeah,
Probably took more than one imp to throw it. So, well, it's 6 shifts. You still get to make a defense, and I think maybe I think spending a fate point is reasonable to just go ahead and make that athletics defense instead of TJ.
okay, yeah.
Spend a fate point to take it for him. All right, cool. And then they're still attacking you as well. So this will be. So you already have your
Sure.
own. Okay.
Yeah, I have 3 for mine, and then I'll do another.
Okay.
And I have 0.
Okay. So,
Is that 9 total?
well, okay. So you can bump those. Now, on the one where we got a mediocre result, that is a roll of -3 or worse. And
That's right.
in fate on because it's 4 fate dice, that's one of those statistical outliers where spending a fate point to re-roll is usually worth it because you're going to get something a little more towards the center. In other words, your chances of rolling a 0 next time is better, and if that's the case, then you're increasing your roll by 3, not by 2. See what I mean? And that
Yes.
so
Okay, I will do that.
most of the time re-rolling isn't that good because if you've got like a -2, you might get a -1, and you've spent a fate point to only get a 1 point bump.
Point.
Whereas if you just spend it instead of re-rolling to get a +2, this is where like statistics and math, and people will use that to argue that fate is weird. You don't even really have to worry about that. But when you roll really bad, it is sometimes worth it to re-roll instead of take the +2.
Okay, yeah, I will do that.
Entirely up to you, though.
I'm
Okay, cool.
Down to 2 fate points, which I'm comfortable
Yay!
with. That's all right.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
3. There
see?
you go.
Yeah, there you go.
So glad I
you
did that.
basically that was exactly the math that I was thinking of. So that's why that sometimes is what. Yeah, if you roll like the worst possible result of -4, you're better off just re-rolling because fate tends to stick around 0. So if suddenly you find yourself on the horrible end of the bell curve, let's take another shot at getting into the middle. There is good. If you get a +4, effing leave it. If you're on the good end of the bell curve, I mean, if you want to spend a re-roll, I guess. But anyway, yeah, fair enough. So,
But I still have 6 shift to deal with, right?
yeah, yes. Unless you want, if you want to spend an aspect, that will mitigate as well. You've got crowded shelves that are things that you can use to duck around behind. You've still got personal aspects that you could tag in as well. Crowded shelves would be no one's used it, so that'd be a free tag that would make one of those a 5. So instead of dealing with 6, you'd be dealing with 4. But I also have looked at your character sheet. You've got 6 stress boxes.
Yeah, I got it. I have it to spare. I'll leave that one unspent.
Right.
So
yeah,
critical
basically.
stress?
So yeah, fair. So basically,
Okay.
he's I was picturing it as like, turning his back to the source and just kind of like on that jacket, just kind of taking hits. And yeah, no, that toaster oven does not feel good, but it is still one of those kind of just shouldering it and it kind of whips past you or kind of knocks into the trashes down. And TJ, that thing was like coming right at I'm picturing the camera shot of like this thing coming right at, and then just Anthony just stepping into it and just taking that hit for you. I love that. Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, aggressive subverted.
Yeah, Sky also has 3 shifts of stress to deal with, though.
Now, question: do I get a bonus from my baseball bat?
I believe I do. I believe we'd established that yes, that's worth a +2. So what does that look like when you're using the bat to help defend yourself? Are you basically knocking stuff out of the air as it comes at you, or?
Yeah, I think that's what I should be trying to do. Is just
love it. I love it.
knock
Yeah,
some stuff out, which
Just
would
throw shit at
reduce
me?
it down
Okay.
to 1 stress. Correct.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So then I'll take that 1. That's
So yeah,
I'm okay
yeah,
with that.
it's fouled into the stands kind of thing. Just like kind of thing. And it's one of those that near miss. And unless it's a consequence, stress is just stress. It's that kind of near miss or that kind of luck that's dwindling kind of thing.
My arms feel a little weird because of the
It's
hitting
like
stuff with the
this-
bat.
Yeah, it'll swing.
Was it a
yeah.
wooden or an aluminum bat?
Aluminum bat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's maybe it hits that wrong where it kind of vibrates in your hands and like you get that tingle.
That's
Gotcha.
what I was
Hate
thinking
that.
of, especially with bigger items that aren't
Mhm.
necessarily meant to be
Yeah,
hit with it.
none of this is I was gonna say none of these things is being thrown at your baseballs, but I mean there is a chance that actual baseballs are some of the things being thrown at you. But office supplies, floppy disks, CD
Floppy
cases.
What?
You can buy them. They're in an Amazon warehouse somewhere, Somebody out there is still buying 1.4-inch discs. I
Your
mean,
Commodore 64 gets thrown.
right?
out.
Yeah, right? It's just like, what? But anyway,
I was like,
all right,
there's no way. There's no way you can still get floppy disks on Amazon, and I was wrong.
You looked on Amazon and they're there, aren't they? Yep. Bam.
And,
Vindication. So, but anyway, looking at that, past that attack is that kind of weird tear on the floor, and behind it is somebody just sprawled out like they have been knocked unconscious, and
I don't think I need to be present. I don't think I should be present to execute on that because my maker is 0.
Sure.
I think I could leave that to Sky and TJ if they want to execute on it.
I mean, Sky's made the thing. It may just be somebody to shoulder it in there and push the activate. But yeah. I guess that's the next step in that plan. And TJ, why don't you give me an occult roll as well to just kind of get some stuff there. This looks weird.
Or
A rip in reality is generally a weird thing.
yeah.
But the rip in reality is in the space above Ian's hand, where he's just kind of fallen back, and it's like out here, and there's just coming out of
Interesting.
it. Yep.
I'm gonna try and juke my way over next to Ian.
Okay, like right next to the rip in reality.
Well, I want to. Can I get a better view of what is in his hand?
There's a thing, an item. It is not orb like. It is kind of statuette like.
That's probably bad.
Mm-hmm.
If
I mean-
if one of you can get that thing out of his hand, I'm sure that would help.
It's fair.
I feel like I could. I do have a bit of a cult. I have the hell fanboy thing in my high concept.
That's fair.
I feel like I could go for it without risking too much.
And honestly, activating the humidifier of doom is probably going to help there. I think this is probably going to be a thing where I think TJ, you and Anthony and Sky, if you have any occult as well, will probably need to work together to occult this thing closed with the humidifier of doom.
I don't have a cult.
Okay. So whomever of you has a higher number there, possibly TJ,
Probably
Yeah.
me.
then get the +1 from Anthony. So roll at a +1 to kind of try and turn this off and turn on the imp fogger or whatever we're going to call it.
Is it +1 no matter what? Because I have +2 for a cult.
Yeah, it just adds because
Okay.
I
Because
rolled a
that's helping.
4.
So
Oh, okay.
which with the +4, okay, +4 +1, and
That's with
okay.
the +1.
Right, and the die was a -1. So okay, cool. It is still good enough to turn it to kind of the rip closes, and I guess what does holy water taste like? I don't know. I've never
think
had
maybe just
blessed
water.
water. I mean, yeah, I guess unless you're, somehow, does it taste any different to anyone? Has anybody got anything they want to tell me as far as? No, but yeah, I probably taste really bad to vampires. I mean, they've got an allergy. So, but yeah, these imps don't like it at all. They're just, and they just start just around from that area. They just start dissipating.
Well, the holy water is a special recipe. I found it on the internet. It uses the holy water from the church.
Mm-hmm.
Contains rose oil, salt, and what else?
Cilantro.
A little bit of cayenne.
Oh, cayenne.
Right.
No. And powdered garlic.
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. And yeah, all right, fair enough. Yeah, the ones that they're just like they just kind of and it kind of starts settling. No more coming out of the gate. It closes. There's like it's kind of Aztec looking, almost like a serpent / eagle kind of cross. Mm-hmm. And as you're shutting it down, the eyes briefly flash, but other than that, and you're left with this thing, and it's got a barcode on the bottom.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me there's not more than one of these things.
Mm-hmm. Ian's got one of the little scanner devices. And right kind of behind him, now that there's not a cloud of things being thrown at you, you can see that he's kind of sprawled near his little cart and bucket kind of thing. Looks like he may have tripped over something and fallen. But yeah, he's got a scanner. It's got a barcode.
Well, while they deal with that, I'm going to make sure he's still breathing.
Probably a good idea. Wrap the idol in the ascot that I had taken, and keep it for later to give to PJ later.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. But if
yay, souvenirs.
If you look at the scanner, it basically the thing says ornamental idol, and kind of lists a listing. If you pulled out your phone, you could probably go to it on Amazon. It's like in home decorations is where it's listed. But anyway,
For when your house really needs that eldritch horror.
There's a bin number, and if you look in the bin, there's other stuff, but there's not any other statues. It's not one of a set or anything. It is.
Is it it's still listed. Is it still in stock on the website?
No.
Okay.
It's listed as out of stock, probably because it's been sold.
Excellent.
But that's not something you can necessarily. Yeah, the gun's not going to tell you that. You'd have to. I mean, that probably could be tracked, but that's another Amazon thing. You'd have to figure that out, but yeah, as far as best you could tell, this is a kind of a one-off thing that maybe the seller didn't realize was magical. I mean, the other things in the bin, they're like bags of rubber bands and binder clips and like some like CDs. It's like now that's what I call Music 22. There's like 8 of them in the bin. Anyway, me just making up crap in Amazon warehouse bins. Yay! But yeah, as far as you can tell, this is just a one-off. Who is shipping this occult statue through Amazon warehouse? But and after a little bit, you kind of you hear a voice behind is like, "Is that it? Is everybody? Oh God, is he hurt?" The supervisor comes but no closer than like the end of the row, and he's just kind of like,
sorry.
He's an employee. Is he hurt?
I'm checking.
Okay. Give me a medic roll.
Is Sky better at medicine than I am? Please say yes.
My medic roll is 2, but I get a +2 from first aid.
You may want to do this more than I do this.
Yeah, Sky will
I just kind of like
go over
poke
to
him a
help,
little bit
then-
and
Sky
see if
literally
he
says.
moves.
Yeah, Sky literally has an aspect says I was an EMT for 2 months.
Yeah.
And then I
So I'm
rolled
like-
a 1.
Well, okay. Again, that's that -3 on the die roll. Do you want to tag that you were an EMT for 2 months? Instead,
Yes,
maybe
I will. I will use
try
that.
rolling that again. Yeah,
I will use that and bump that up to a 3, so we get good info on here.
but to see what happens if you re-roll it, because I'm fine with taking the +2 and getting that a 3. That will give you the information you need. Okay, no, it's all good.
So either way, it was the same thing.
No, because she forgot to add the +2 the second time, so
Oh.
it's actually a 5.
Oh,
Actually,
I
a 5.
did. Oh,
You didn't add first aid in the second one, so it actually is much better than you think. So, anyway, not only determined that he's probably concussed, but not like seriously injured. There's no blood, nothing appears to be broken, and you can revive him, and he's gonna like, but his pupils aren't.
yeah. I'll ask for like a first aid kit and get out some
Yeah,
smelling salts and
GM Pulsar J, not being an EMT, cannot list off all the signs of concussion off the top of his head. But
I can, but I won't.
yes, thanks. But Ian he's concussed. He has a concussion, just probably from one, basically being at ground zero of a poltergeist invasion, and they immediately grabbed things, and the first target was Ian. So he got.
He'll be fine. He's got a concussion. He should probably get checked out by an actual medical professional. But
Mm-hmm. Now you tell
He'll
supervisor supervisor gets the other 2 security guys to kind of like he tries to get you guys to help pick him up, but that's not in your contract.
Did my job.
But anyway, the 2 security guys will kind of grab him and he's like, "Whoa, oh man, what happened?"
you hit your head.
And Anthony, I thought you don't work at Amazon.
You're muted.
Do not, but today I technically did. So.
This guy waving your forms. It's like, I signed a thing. I technically right now. All right, that's okay. And you guys like they kind of walk him past. There is like a medical office that they walk him to. There's essentially a nursing station on there that mostly for like twisted ankles and stuff like that. But yeah, they'll it's kind of walking down. You just kind of, if you guys hang out here, you can kind of see them in the Picmon. They're kind of walking towards that office, and the supervisor guy is like, "So that's problem solved. That's not going to happen again, right? I hope. Tell me, please."
Not if you don't sell any more cursed items.
What do you mean, cursed items?
This bad boy.
As far as that,
Anthony like unwraps the title. It is cursed as hell, as we say in the biz.
As we say in the biz.
it's like, he kind of grabs do you mind if I
swat his hand away.
Oh,
just
What are you doing? No.
the
don't touch it.
barcode, the barcode.
Oh yeah, here. Scan
He's
it
like,
from a distance.
Like peels the sticker off. Like, you know what? I'm gonna trust you guys to dispose of this properly. I'll he kind of pulls out a cell phone and takes a picture of it, and then a picture of the barcode, and it walks over to one of the customer service computers, like scans it and like pulls up and like types something in, and he kind of reaches in, he's got like a little note card and starts jotting some things down. So what would you like to do? He's not sharing this information. He's just kind of making notes.
Sky would personally like to leave, or would start.
Okay, yeah.
To
You
just
may start.
leave.
Yeah, you may start heading out if you wish.
I'll give TJ the idol. If we go back through the metal detectors, I assume I go off like a Christmas tree, but I just keep walking.
Yeah.
I think we all do.
Do you want to walk?
Yeah.
You want to walk through them or walk around? I mean, that's also
I'll go
but they're
around if
also
I can. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
I'll walk through it.
They could. I mean, as you go through, you kind of like show your swords off and beep. Okay.
I walk through. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Hell with you.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yay.
And yeah, so there is that, and yeah, you've probably come out with I would say there's a couple of cell phones and some headphones. Yeah, I mean they're like earbuds kind of things. They're probably not they're not the best quality. Actually, no.
They're ear candy.
Yeah, there's like skull candy headphones.
Candy,
Yeah. They're okay kind of thing. But the Sellies are they're probably iPhone 12s or maybe
we have to fund this operation somehow, I'm sure.
Galaxies. Yeah, I mean theoretically Amazon's paying you, or the supervisor is paying you.
Now they're just paying
You don't know. I mean, that's the thing. It's not listed on the contract, which is maybe because I mean, there's that happens sometimes. You can get an anonymous job that's either somebody who doesn't want that to be known that they've paid for an iHunt, and and that may be a thing, is that maybe there doesn't need to be a record between Amazon hiring these millennial monster hunters to come into the thing. And as you guys are going out,
they shouldn't have asked us to sign contracts then.
Well, they didn't say, none of the contract says here you are here to hunt monsters. Most of it is if you're hurt on the premises, Amazon is not responsible kind of situation. That's, I mean, most of the paperwork. And as you are leaving, you can see probably about maybe half of the people in the other side of the building start to kind of move towards the previously empty thing. And the last thing you hear before you kind of the doors cut is this kind of almost simultaneous groan from everyone as they see the mess that's left over there. But yeah, you guys kind of get out of there without being hurt, but you've got this thing. Yeah, and that's an issue. And I think so. TJ, you may have an opportunity to do some research on this, and all of that, and we'll go from there. So heading back to the house, or it is probably late at this point, because I want to say probably evening. It is probably almost midnight by the time you guys get out of Amazon. It is hard to tell, because there is no way to tell time passing inside an Amazon warehouse. The lights do not change. There are no clocks on the wall. It is a timeless place.
That's horrifying.
It's, you wear a watch, you know when your shift ends. But that's the thing. There's no difference between a day shift and a night shift as far as that's concerned. Commerce does not stop. It's morning somewhere in the world, and Amazon is shipping crap to it. But
I think once they're out, Sky would suggest that they go get drinks or food or something.
Fair.
Yay, calories.
Yep.
Calories and caffeine. That's what we need right now.
The probably the good place. There are several places that are open that late. Not every place in the world, but there's a place called Perkins that is kind of a Denny's-ish. Yeah. Okay.
Our local Perkins closed.
Okay,
Oh.
somebody's familiar with the Perkins. There are like 3 in Des Moines. So yeah, they're all over the place, and they are
My-
24/7.
The local one closed, but yeah, I'm familiar with Perkins.
Yep. And yeah,
In my younger days, I spent more than a
Alright,
few
fair enough.
late nights in Perkins.
That's where you go after LARP with everybody
Mhm,
else. It's your
mhm.
LARP afters.
Yep. You go get breakfast food and pie. Perkins is known for their pies.
I used to work third shift, so the only place up here that's open at 1 in the morning is Perkins, Walmart, and Quick Trip.
Yep. This is
Quick Trip I know of. I worked at a Quick Trip when I lived in Wisconsin.
But yeah, this is it's kind of a little more kind of an upscale diner place, IHOP-ish, I guess. Decor wise, kind
It's
of
kind of somewhere between IHOP and Denny's.
basically kind of vinyl seats in a nice, non-offensive green wood paneling, that kind of dark green carpet kind of thing that is meant to absorb and hide stains. Every restaurant has. And and the waitress kind of comes to the table with a pot of coffee already. If you need, it's already a place there for usually the little at the end of the table where there's like napkins. This is additionally has like a couple of different kinds of syrup for kind of pancake waffle sort of situation. And it's kind of like coffee, y'all. It's good. Hands menus out. One's like a seasonal specials thing with like some kind of like winter French toast and that kind of nonsense. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, gingerbread pancakes sounds good. We'll go with that one as a special because that sounds great.
I order it.
Gingerbread pancakes with like a cream cheese frosting kind of thing.
Yes.
But there you go.
On it.
So you guys have breakfast food, and you have this statuette in your bag. So, I was gonna say, TJ, you also get to. You have a stunt called Know Stuff, which lets you hold on to a situational aspect related to your knowledge of monsters. Would you like to hold on to one of the imp aspects?
The poltergeist imps?
You want to hang on to that?
Yes.
Because the rest of them are going to go away because the scene's over.
Right.
But all right, so we have that. Okay, you get to hang on to that, which might be useful for research and figuring out what's going on.
Sure.
With this other, if depending on what you decide your next steps are going to be. I mean, because is this idol, which clearly when dropped summons a crap ton of imps to destroy a place, something you want to leave around your house? Well, yeah, what's the plan with that? And how is it secured in your bag, I guess is the next question.
Well, it's like wrapped up in
okay,
whatever the ascot was made of, whether it's silk or whatever.
Okay.
I might consider, with the approval of my colleagues, bringing it to my mentor at the university.
Okay.
For them to take a look at.
I mean, you're the demon expert, kind of. I mean, I know Anthony's the demon killing expert, but you're the research expert.
A lot less academic.
So if that's what you want to do, it doesn't bother me. There's nothing I'm going to do with that thing. Okay. Except maybe put it in somebody's car that I don't like or something.
I mean, clearly you can sell it on Amazon.
Anthony needs to take a note of whether this guy shows up for work.
That is a good idea.
At GameStop, if he shows up. Or just calls out or just doesn't show up at all.
I mean, if he's actually diagnosed with a concussion, it might be okay for him to call out from work. I mean,
no. What I'm talking about, above and beyond.
Oh, sure.
For an unusual length of time. Yeah, that makes sense.
As someone
Like,
who's
if he never
had
comes back.
concussions before, it could be anywhere from a couple of days to 2-3 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I mean,
That
it's.
could be a while. Okay.
I mean, I think you really start getting into trouble if you get them a lot and frequently, which is why they're a big deal in sports. But even if you only get one, that's probably one more than you'd like.
Yes. I've had a few.
And yeah, but I have been lucky, knock on wood. But anyway, so yeah, I guess. So taking it to we have dinner and stuff like that and kind of make a plan. So let's cut then to like, I guess the next day. Were you kind of taking this to school with you, or what's that like? Kind of showing up at the university with this thing, and
It's in my messenger bag.
And
All my other crap.
so let me pull this up real quick. All right, though. Do this. Nope, I don't need that either. That's what I want. So, tell us about this mentor, because the notes I have is university mentor. That's as far as we've kind of gotten with this. Is this? So,
Well, I was figuring that this is a previous professor of TJ's.
Okay.
TJ did not graduate due to reasons, and but has kept in close contact with this particular anthropology professor.
Okay.
Who specializes in things like symbology and ancient cultures.
Okay. Gotcha. Man, woman,
Doesn't matter.
non-binary. Okay. And okay, so I'm gonna say probably you're coming into the university, and that's the thing. And also, did TJ not finish school? Was that under a cloud, or did you just stop going? Because it's college. It's college. If you stop paying for classes and don't sign up for classes, then
it was more of a
you were asked to leave and not come back, or
no. I think the stress of it was too much.
Okay, that's like I say, that's just I've decided not to go anymore kind of thing.
Combined with her increasing paranoia, it got very disruptive.
I was just curious if there was an incident because of the increasing paranoia or anything
there
like
could
that.
Have been.
That might have been. Okay. Is this a situation of when you come back to campus, are you careful? Or you wind up using spy to well, actually, that's the question. Does TJ, you know what? I wonder. Let's see.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we necessarily have aspect that's yeah, I'm not. I'm just wondering if I was going to give you a compel if that was made sense, but if does TJ like try to sneak onto campus, whether she needs to or not? Does she sneak onto campus?
No.
Okay. So
I have a feeling she'd probably more walk in like she owns the place.
Okay. All right. That's good too. I like that too. So I could absolutely totally, like, you know, if she thinks they're out to get her, if she's like you got spy as a skill, so you know dodging the campus security would not be difficult.
Right.
But I like that. I also like the walking in like she owns the place, so that's good too. And you're like literally about to knock on the professor's door, and you can hear muffled, heated conversation going on the other side of the door. Somebody's already in there meeting with him. And I'm gonna say, It's Professor Vriesma, Vreesma.
Okay.
He's well, his family's Amish, but he is not. He uses computers and everything. But yeah, some kind of argument with some woman. There's different voices in there, and well, from through the door, it's hard to tell what they're saying.
Do
But,
either of you two come with me? Out of curiosity.
That is a question. Or do you have to? I mean, you could have to work. That's also a
I was gonna
possibility.
say, I might have if I didn't have a shift, but I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know when I work.
I just didn't know if I was flying this solo or if I had backup.
I was gonna say.
I was gonna say, yeah, Sky, I'd probably go with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then then when you get to work, you basically your boss asks if you can stay late to cover for Ian.
Nobody else.
I mean, basically it's phrased phrased in the form of a question.
I'm being voluntold.
Yeah, it's phrased in the form of a question, but it's not a question. You're being compelled you've got to stay late. We're really shorthanded, and it'd be really great. It would look good on your metrics to get some extra sales, and maybe push some of those memberships. Or there's always a promotion that you have to push.
Yeah, pro.
Yep.
Yeah,
whatever the
Game
the current.
Informer subscription
Yeah.
with the pro membership. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you've got a monthly goal. Is like you're doing okay, but your numbers could be better. So
Bethany will just be like listening to all this through a dead stare, just like knowing like I don't really have an option here. So I'm just gonna let this conversation run its course.
But fair enough. Well, if you accept that compel, then I will give you a fate point for that, because that's how that works. Is that's one of the things that have come up that basically it's a situation that comes up that restricts your options. You'd love to be part of this other scene, but you have to stay at work. So people either have to get a hold of you on that, and that's there's ways to get around that. You can still be part of a scene like on the cell phone and stuff like that, but then that can also come back and your boss is like, why are you on the phone? All those good stuff, that kind of fun tension. So but yeah, all right, fair enough. So Sky, if you're there again, you kind of both stop at the door then with this conversation going on the other side. It's not like shouting, but you can it's got that definite cadence of an argument.
I'm gonna do what most college students do and sit down on the floor outside the door.
Okay.
And try and listen as best I can.
Okay, fair enough. That's definitely a spy. That's spy is your eavesdropping skill there. I think you're basically overcoming an obstacle of the door makes it difficult to hear this convo, and let's say that. Also, by the way, if you took any stress in the warehouse scene, that goes away because we're in the next scene.
Okay.
If you took any consequences, which we did not, but Anthony, your jaw consequence from the other night has cleared up, or you've had time to heal it. It's probably still sensitive. Maybe it pops every once in a while, but not in any way that's going to affect your game stats. But yeah, so everybody should be in pretty good shape right now. But yeah, that feels like a spy. Your difficulty in this case is going to be 4. It's an older building with like thick wooden doors.
Is Sky helping or
sorry, TJ. Sky, do you have spy at least at a +1? No.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you have spy at +1 or better?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Well, crap.
Let's go. Somebody's just on you.
Sorry, I zoned out there for a second.
That's all good.
Okay.
It's all good. We're seeing it. TJ was looking for help on the. Oh, look at you, rolling what you needed to get a gist of the conversation.
Oh, good.
and you kind of catch the very end of it, and like it's something about the woman's like, well, I already would have taken care of it if it was still available on the website, but it says it's out of stock. Why it's on the website in the first place, I don't understand, but
Is that the professor, or is that the
no, that's the woman on the other side of it, and is like, your professor's like, I don't understand why it's there either, but I didn't put it up for sale. I cannot keep track of everything on eBay, Etsy, and Amazon looking for trinkets. I do have
of online shopping.
Yeah, I do have to occasionally teach classes. It's like, and basically you hear it was like, very well, Professor Friesma. The organization will not forget this. And she kind of, you hear her start coming toward the door, so you have a chance to kind of scoot back toward the wall and
at the wall, playing on my phone.
The cell phone out, is looking at it. It's like, and as the kind of door opens and this the woman storms out, you can hear the professor say, "Forget what? I didn't do." And yet the kind of the woman that comes by you in kind of a flowing kind of a peasant skirt kind of thing, very much just kind of comfortable, not by no means like upscale runway fashion or anything like that, just basically something comfortable and flowing that moves well. Nice blouse with a little kind of short jacket, and the less of a purse and more of a big messenger bag, kind of one of those, kind of like those giant purses, but with lots of pockets on the outside as well as inside. And she's got kind of curly hair up in a bun. It is blonde going a little bit gray, and just kind of a stern, just a kind of very angular face, and she is just booking kind of at and generally at high speed. It looks like the messenger bag is just kind of bulging with like books.
Sure.
And you can some of the pockets on the outside, you can see you just have lots of pens and
I want to sneak a photo of her as she's leaving.
Okay, cool, good idea.
Since I'm dicking around with my phone anyway.
Right. Fair enough. And Professor Friesma comes out in the hall and says, TJ and friend, how can I help a former student?
We should talk.
He's real defensive because he's just like, I've already been attacked once today. What the hell? It's the tone of voice, I guess, or the turn of phrase is, if you've ever seen Big Trouble in Little China, it's what the hell is Gracie Law doing here? Kind of thing.
If you haven't seen that movie, it's a required viewing.
Definitely worth doing.
For
yes.
like half of Jay's games.
Well, okay, I have a tell, all right? If you've seen Big Trouble in Little China and Buckaroo Banzai, you've got about half of my games. At any rate, are you, I guess, both going into the professor's office, or are you kind of just being... Yeah, where do you put yourself, Sky, as the kind of third wheel, awkward fly on the wall? Where does one stand? This is, okay, kind of an old building, sort of, not a very big office. A full professor, but it is basically room for a desk, room for a chair, and if you shut the door, there's space for you to stand in there.
Yeah.
Or wait in the hall.
It's your typical professor's closet.
Yes, essentially, yes. And all the walls are books, like floor to ceiling. There's laptop on the desk and stacks of papers, inbox, outbox, and kind of the multiple stacked inboxes, because he's got like each class has its own stack of papers.
Graduate, undergraduate, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, or just like, teaching at 11, teaching at 1:30, teaching at whatever, actually, yeah, they're probably labeled with like Anthropology 10, Anthropology 201, so on and so forth. That the stack of labels is probably, you know, maybe a quarter-inch thick from where he's put labels on each semester. But kind of like, yeah, here's 15 research papers I need to grade or have graded and need to file or whatever. But yeah, the typical messy professor's desk, and he's kind of he just sits down, kind of okay. So
I motion to Sky. I do not introduce Sky,
sure.
but I leave Sky an opening to introduce themselves.
All right, I'm Sky. I'm just here's the backup, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'll just
The ride.
be back.
To
here.
drive.
Yeah.
Well, or I would have to take the bus, you know.
Yeah, there you go. That's like, yeah. And pleasure, Sky, TJ. What is?
I pull it out of my thing, still wrapped in the cloth. Set it on the table, and pull the cloth off.
Wow. You're not going to believe this. I just had a conversation about this piece. Pictures and everything.
Really?
Yeah. I was asked to help find it.
Well,
So
it's found.
yeah. Thank you. And how did you? Why? How?
It doesn't matter. I just
Tell
want to
me
know what it is.
Tell me a story here. This is well, it's Mayan, and God, I'm trying to remember. I don't think I can pronounce the word. I'll see if I can.
Are you talking Mayan city names or something?
No. Not one. It is, but so are you familiar with the Tsitsimime? So they're part of Aztec mythology. The stars in the sky are but also they're numerous, and one of the ways that one of the worlds was destroyed was when the star demons came down from the sky and raised life on planet, and that's when the people of wood were replaced with people of. He kind of goes a little bit off into this whole Aztec thing,
tangents.
but yeah, this is kind of in. There are some texts, and he kind of like starts pulling things up on the laptop about this being a beacon that they are attracted to, and so it can be used to focus that. And
while he's
it's not
explaining
great.
this, I'm gonna take the fabric and put it back over
the thing. Yeah, okay.
Very carefully put it back over.
So yeah, I mean, of course, you know, this is all mythical. He kind of raises one eyebrow at you. It is all mythical. I mean, this is anthropology. This is a great story. One of the reasons that Mayan myth is interesting is it all leads that that's why folks, and I know you know them, have latched onto Mayan astronauts and all that Nazca
those are
UFOs
real.
and things.
Those are real. And I'm gonna bring you proof, I promise you. But for this,
I look forward to reading that paper.
Mm-hmm.
How mythological are little imp demons, little poltergeisty imp demons?
Well, he looks at Sky and then back at you. They're of course mythological. These are creation myths and stories that the Mayans created to explain their universe around them. And sure, it's easy to attach, and certainly it's fun to attach these funky stories to them, because that's certainly more fun than we had a bad harvest and everybody died of some disease or whatever. But and again, he kind of during this whole thing, yeah, he keeps glancing. He keeps glancing between you, the two of you, yeah, because I mean, he didn't exactly encourage you when you're in school to go this way, but he didn't discourage you either when you would go off on tangents, kind of thing. It's one of those. It's
you probably thought it was just a harmless thing.
It's, I mean, as far as what do you get out of this mentor relationship? I mean, is this mostly a situation of he knows lots of, I guess, define for me, how is in this scene, because I think basically right now is he's not wanting to confirm anything in front of Sky. Is that because, have you guys had conversations about weird shit? Did he kind of get you into this, or okay? Then
but he's a better, the reason he's there is because he's the better academic. I was not a good academic.
Sure, and I guess he's also better at masking.
Mm-hmm.
To use a term, he passes for mundane better than you do.
No, I'm just a weirdo.
So fair enough. So
and
all right.
I just tilt my head over to Sky, and I'm like, Sky's all right. Sky was there.
Sky was where exactly?
Where we found the artifact.
I'm gonna bet that wasn't Central America.
No.
Okay. I'm listening. So what happened?
I glance over at Sky. You want to chime in?
Sure. I mean, what we know is somebody must have dropped this or something, and when we got called in, there was a bunch of poltergeist imps destroying the place.
He kind of he basically very carefully, without touching it, does a kind of unwrap it again and starts examining it for damage. You say it was dropped?
Mm-hmm. That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
And he kind of flips it and kind of finds a point on it, like maybe like a little stubby kind of. It kind of like an eagle snake looking combo, like a snaky body and kind of crocodile head with like eagle wings. And if he finds a point like the top of one where it like may have hit the concrete, like might be it's scuffed, but it doesn't look like it.
Does it still have adhesive from the barcode sticker?
On the very bottom of it, there's a little bit of stickum. And he kind of, okay. But, okay, I could say maybe it, But that shouldn't have turned it, unless it was primed, it wouldn't, you'd have to do some work to get that ready to activate. So what are you thinking?
I don't believe that your average retail worker would have the knowledge base to know how to use this.
No, probably not. You're probably looking at somebody with some occult talent. Some kind of, I would say a caster, some kind of sorcerer. I don't know of many. They're only a couple in town, and no, actually they're not in town. They're generally they're on. I have some addresses. They're farms, fairly ways out, but we keep an eye on them. I'm not going to ever say any of those guys are harmless because we don't know what they're going to do. But people get into messing with stuff, and yeah. Right, that's a problem. I do have something that may be related to, though. I may have to do some research. Let me kind of start typing and pulling some things up on the computer, which I'm going to simulate by pulling stuff up on the computer, and find the thing that I was thinking of. And what do you know about hockey?
Nothing.
Oh, you should go sometime. It's a great game. We've got a couple of minor league teams in town. But it's an internet thing, and I don't know if there's anything to it or not, but I have a name for you, and I and he puts it down, and he basically gets his phone and like sends you a contact, and it's Gregory Ramos, and there's also a website for it's like ice hockey, but it's not. It's kind of an online hockey thing, but the games are played very fast. It's the website is called Center Heise, HICE. And the CH is kind of run together like the Montreal Canadiens logo.
Okay.
But it's sort of like fake hockey. The games run every like 15 minutes or so, and there's stats, but it's also very weird in that there's like sometimes the goalies catch fire, and there are sometimes ducks on the court, and this all seems to have some sort of significance, and they play seasons of over the course of like about a week, and there is betting, but it's not with real money, and it is this weird phenomenon. And when you go, so from the website, you also find, if you do the search for Center Heise, not only do you get the website, but you get like Reddits and subreddits. There are bands that have made music about this, and it's
a thing.
It's definitely an internet weirdness. And apparently this Ramos, who is known to be a sorcerer, is involved somehow. So yeah, a thing for you to pursue, I guess. And he's like, and what's your plan for this though?
I glance over at Sky. Well, here's my question. As a group, do we have a place where we put weird artifacts? Well, what do we do with them when we find them? I'm sure we've found them in the past.
Have you? I mean, that's a possibility. I mean,
immediately what pops into my mind is the storage unit full of cursed items in Supernatural, but I don't know if any of us would actually shell the $50 a month for that.
It's your turn to pay. I paid last month.
Oh man, I love the idea though. Huh.
I mean, it is an idea if we want to go for that, but
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, that is absolutely honestly, that's a place that we could put on the relationship map as well. And here's my question: if y'all aren't paying for it, who is?
That's a good
I mean, there's
question.
people. There's people. I mean, maybe Desdemona passes the hat once a month.
I was gonna say, or is it? Suddenly can't think of her name.
The ex-girlfriend?
Your
Yeah,
ex?
Is it Allie's?
yeah,
and,
Allie. Because I mean, she
Okay.
is a gun runner and stuff, so maybe
yeah,
it's hers.
I mean, that's fair. That makes sense. She'd have a storage unit. It's
Sure.
like guns and cursed items, and just like, be careful with that lockbox. It's why is
Don't-
it explosives? Close enough.
No, you
Don't
open it and it
accidentally-
melts your face.
Don't sell these items back here.
Yeah, right. I do absolutely love the idea that that somewhere in Des Moines there's a storage unit of cursed items. That's fantastic. And I have ideas about this. This is gonna be fun.
See, I
All right,
feel bad.
cool.
I've never watched Supernatural, so I don't get the reference. But I think
It's-
it's a general good idea.
I mean, you're fine. It wouldn't take too long to catch up. There's only like 20 seasons.
I mean, that particular reference is maybe 4 seasons in. I think I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly.
yeah. There can't be more than like 300 shows to watch there. That's fine.
No, that's all.
No, you don't need to. It's
Up
just
to, like, 5 or
it's
6
exactly
seasons,
what
too.
it sounds like. Is they get a call
Yeah.
because somebody broke into a storage unit and that was under their
Hey,
dad's name or something, and
which is
They pull
now,
up and it's
now
full of
that a
cursed
storage
items.
unit full of cursed items exists, that's a thing that I could at some point do. So thank you for that. Yes, we can take this off your hands.
Oh, look,
and
more toys for the DM.
that
I
I mean, that's what we're
I-
that's what we're here for, to give.
I would
Throw out
never hurt one
ideas
of
and-
God's creatures. I would never hurt one of God's creatures, except for fun. No,
So I take it off his desk and put it. I'm like, if you want to take a picture, but I'm putting it back in my bag.
Yeah, it's just like, and I'm gonna do you a favor, and not tell Miss Brown there that it just came in my office right after she left.
Yeah, who was that?
Danielle Brown. She's an ivory tower type, and when he says that, he kind of leans on the words ivory tower, and that there's a connotation there. There is an organization that you and he have referred to in the past, and just it's a kind of a snarky nickname for the group, because the group is like the Mystic Order of St. Giles or something like that. That they are very Watcher-ish.
Mm-hmm.
They are very academic monster hunters, and they
Buffy, I've seen.
don't necessarily they don't work. It's oil and water with eye hunters, because the ivory tower types are more likely to observe monsters and make notes on their behavior, as opposed to killing them. So maybe there's some friction there, in that the eye hunters kind of rub them the wrong way, because they're like, hey, I was taking notes on that vampire. Like, well, put this down, it's dead.
Here's a note for you.
It's dead. I just made $5,000. Bye. So there's a little enmity, but yeah, she's. I met her the first time about 3 days ago. She's very goal oriented. So, but anyway,
This isn't the same person that was at the bar, is it? Or is that a different
No.
person?
Nope, because that woman was named Fiona. So
That's right.
we haven't done much with that, but we can. I mean, what else do you have for this scene? Because if you've got more questions to Professor, that's great. But otherwise, we can cut to something else.
I don't. Does Sky?
Other than like as we're leaving, Sky just be like, so are we throwing that thing in the storage unit? Should I call Allie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably should. So, all right. So yeah, let's go straight there. That's to kind of like a you store it kind of place. Just one of those. It's one of you. Everybody has seen these. They're just kind of the just the property with the rows of garages, and so if Sky is a muscle car person, is Allie like the big pickup truck type, or what kind of? Or is she a motorcycle type, or?
A big pickup truck type. That's
honestly around Des Moines. That is a type. There is definitely it is probably a big old bro dozer, as they're called, and I'm kind of getting Allie personality here. So yeah, it's a big black truck and probably car wash cleaned, no flames or anything up the side. It's just otherwise kind of nondescript, tinted, so maybe you can't see whether or not there is or is not a gun rack. There's not, not any kind of bumper stickers or anything like that.
Nothing that would bring attention to it.
Other than it being a big black truck, but that actually doesn't make it stand out
in
that
the Midwest.
much.
In the Midwest, no, not so much.
Does not make it. Actually, honestly, right now in kind of winter time like this, the thing that makes it stand out is that it's clean. It's not covered with like kind of road salt and mud and just or dust from dirt roads or whatever. It's that's just, it's gonna stand out because somebody's like, dang, somebody went to the trouble of washing their car in December. Why?
I mean,
but,
you should, but
well, yeah,
what you should do and what people actually do.
Don't leave road salt. Yeah, don't leave road salt on your truck, y'all. Just don't. It's not good for it.
But the fact that it's clean and at all, because I mean, usually if you clean it and then you go back out onto the road and you at least have a little bit on there immediately.
Yeah. So, and then I guess, what's Allie look like? Because also this is also kind of defining Sky's type.
Yeah. I think that Allie's kind of a lot like her truck. She's very Midwestern in a way, kind of nondescript. Doesn't really stand out in a crowd of other Midwesterners. Unlike Sky, who has like colored hair and more of a punk affectation to her clothing. Probably like long brown hair.
Fair enough.
It's winter.
Low past shoulder.
Yeah, it's like it's winter, so probably like one of them big puffy jackets that are very popular.
I was just thinking that, like a puffy jacket and jeans and Ugg boots are serious boots.
Serious boots.
Okay, fair enough. That makes sense. Okay. But sure, and yeah, she's got a smile for you. They're still friends. Like you called, you got something?
Yeah, we just gotta.
And it's good to see you. Is there a hug? Are you
you know what? I think there's an awkward hug, like we're trying really hard to be friendly. Awkward hug.
Gotcha. I love it. Yes.
Yeah, we got a cursed item. We need to store away.
Yeah. Okay. And she's kind of parked the truck like right in front of a unit, so that it's and it's huge. TJ, the bed of the truck is probably like here on your head. Because it's lifted a little, not like huge lifted, like monster truck lifted, but just off-road lifted, I guess. I'm assuming there are levels to these things. It's not.
I don't know a lot about it, but there is, because if you, at a certain point when you go too high,
center
struts,
of gravity gets involved. Yeah,
the struts and stuff get weak, like the ones that they have to have for monster trucks and stuff.
Yeah,
those things break really easy.
Yeah, basically not lifted for show, but lifted for I might have to actually cross a river in this thing. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, that is a difference, because like if you go too high, you hit a pothole and it's a $40,000 repair.
Right. Yeah. This is one of those this is meant to be. This truck has been modified so that there really isn't anywhere that she can't take it, kind of thing. Of, oh, look, we either get caught by the police or we cross this creek. I guess we're crossing this creek. Let's see him do this in a patrol cruiser. That kind of thing. So yeah, but she's got that thing parked right in front and does the lock and kind of lifts the thing up, and the shelves like in front there's like furniture, like old chairs, dining room tables, things like that. There's like a kind of like a furniture display case with old plates and stuff like that. It looks like somebody's like garage storage or like estate stuff.
I'm imagining like piles of like them file boxes that are just full of random papers and stuff nobody would like look past.
Yeah, it's like labeled like tax records or something like that,
Comic books.
Oh yeah, there you go. But you walk past that a little bit, and there's just kind of probably like moving blankets that are kind of hung from the ceiling or whatever to just kind of keep it. And past that, the shelves are a little more organized, and there are wooden crates on them, things like that have markings and labels and stuff like that are like military grade kind of equipment and stuff like that. Kind of arms dealery. As she keeps kind of walking past that as well. This is not incredibly deep. This is actually probably 2 storage units back to back, where maybe the wall's been taken out, kind of thing. So kind of almost smack dab in the middle, there is a little space built on the side, and it's kind of caged in. And she kind of unlocks that as well, and there's some more crates in there, and these are like lots of little. There's some like Pelican boxes. Some are wooden crates. Some look like they are specially made containers. There's one that's like a small coffin, because apparently it has to be a certain size to keep this particular voodoo doll under control or whatever. That kind of knick-knacky, supernaturally kind of stuff that there is. This is a bit more less uniform and more unique storage, because everything in here has and when I say everything in here, there's like maybe a dozen things tops. It's not like this isn't like
Warehouse 13.
This is not Men in Black Warehouse 13
I'm imagining
huge thing.
Less general Warehouse 13 warehouse, and more of like the vault, the dark vault, where there's just a few items that have specific instructions. But in here, there's just like note cards that have like, if you have to handle handle
something like that,
this way or whatever.
Little like 3x5 index cards on them. Just kind of like handwritten.
They're the ones without the lines, because that's what the dollar store had on hand.
Perfect. Yes, the blank 3x5. So some of the writing is kind of at an angle, or it like almost ran out of room, so some of the instructions kind of go up and around.
Pro Hunter, you.
Just stuff like. Well, there's like, don't do this and don't do this, and definitely don't do. Oh man, I'm almost out of space.
This one
just said,
Don't drop.
Don't do not drop. Yeah, do not drop. It's like, if you like write that on the card, she's like, so bottom shelf then?
That's a good idea.
Please.
Cool. Little box, just kind of a yeah, probably like an old cardboard box, and she just like starts taking newspapers. There's like a stack of newspapers, and just kind of, this is fine. Is this fine for packing material?
Should be.
It should be.
And she's like pulls on some gloves
Smart.
and just start packing the paper in there, and it's still and then I guess kind of holds her hands out for it. And are you okay giving up the scarf, or? I was just gonna put the whole thing in the box.
Wait,
Put the whole thing.
because isn't the scarf just something that got swiped from Amazon?
Amazon, yeah.
Oh, right, sure, okay.
So.
But yeah, it's just kind of putting that in there, closing the lid, and yeah, that stores the thing. And like, do you want to tell me about what that was about? Better question. Do I need to know? Other than don't drop it, is there anybody I need to look out for coming after it? Just heads up, because my garage.
Yeah, there is somebody apparently looking for it. But
so yeah, okay, fair enough. You show her the picture of Miss Brown. Fair enough. I love it. Okay.
That person.
Cool.
I mean, yeah, if you do drop it, there'll be little imp demon creatures that show up, so they're annoying. Don't do that.
Great. Are they immune to bullets or anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, they do
I'm
die.
less worried.
It's just there's a lot of them.
I take a moment while this is all occurring to text Anthony.
Yep. Okay.
A copy of that picture.
Got
and
it.
I write
Nice.
and I write BOLO. That's it.
Okay, gotcha.
On the lookout.
Be on the lookout. Yeah, fair enough.
Cool.
It's a bolo on this person. Fair enough. Okay. Nice. All righty. And I think that brings us close to time. So and just a kind of a brief cut scene with none of the players in it, with a gentleman, kind of the camera shot, kind of the back of a guy sitting at the desk, and he's got his the phone to his head. It's like, no, I think things are actually going pretty well. I mean, Fiona's a little bit on our case. I lost somebody day before yesterday. Not anybody super important to the organization, but he had gotten a couple of folks brought in. So I think we need to just clean house a little bit. There are a couple of folks on the website that I'm going to want you to take care of, and we'll do some recruiting. And basically, the scene is about to cut, and you see on the desk is kind of like a little statuette that sits on the edge of like the face with the nose and the two hands on either side of it, just kind of a little old just a little figurine.
Vonnegut?
I'll find a picture for y'all to kind of give you an idea. Just it's a thing that used to get drawn all the time, just on the edge of a thing, and just a couple of hands in.
Yeah.
That little figurine guy, and that kind of, the camera kind of focuses in on that, goes black, and the credits roll. We will see you on the next episode of I Hunt Farm to Table. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in, all that good stuff. I hope you had a good time with the show.
We defeated bad guys in toaster ovens.
But I introduce everybody. I guess I'll start with outros. I'm Commander Pulsar. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Commander Pulsar. And we're doing some stuff tomorrow. I'm going to do do Space Patrol and talk about some of the games that I got at I got during PAX weekend. Actually got some some Kickstarter games fulfilled. So we get to do some first looks at some new things, Root and Swords of Serpentine and things like that. And then on Sunday, a very special Christmas episode of Lego Brunch. And we're going to be doing some Christmas sets. I got some new stuff from PAX to show off. And I did a crazy thing this morning and bet Twitter and Discord, and I guess now I'm betting Twitch, that if we go to my coffee, ko-fi.com/CommanderPulsar, if we meet my goal to raise money for the local Animal Rescue League, I will go Christmas nuts on Sunday and wear my ugly Christmas sweater and reindeer antlers, and I will get candy canes and we'll music the whole time. And anyway, I'll embarrass myself with Christmas cheer. That's the plan if we hit our goal. So hopefully I'll see y'all there. And that's me.
Let's go to TJ.
Yay. Hi, I'm Spookerific everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram. Anyway, I am a creative streamer. I draw things and graphic design things. And I'm available for commission. You can check my Ko-fi page, ko-fi.com/spookerific. What else? I play this, and I play once every other week. I play Dungeons and Dragons on Monday nights. So that's where you can find me. And I'm usually here in the overnights, doing my thing.
Anthony.
Hey, I'm Spicy Curry Bread. Marcus, also Spicy Curry Bread. Pretty much everywhere. Spicy Curry Breath on Twitch. Other than this, I'm just playing. I play D&D on Thursday mornings. Earlier today, around 11:30 Pacific.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're playing with a couple people from across the pond, so we're playing a little bit earlier to play with them. Yeah, it's been going good.
That's exciting.
We are boss hunting, and we're about 4 out of 8. We're doing the Mega Man thing, trying to just knock them all off.
Nice.
And it's been pretty fun.
Cool.
Oh, and the channel is Vanish X Zone,
Nice.
if you want to catch that.
I do. That sounds great.
It's been fun, yeah.
Awesome. Is that everything?
Thanks.
All right, and I am Nerdy Teddy. You can find me on Twitter at Nerdy Teddy. You can find me here on Nerds with Dice. You can find me in the Nerds with Dice Discord. Let's see. Go check out my Twitter or the Nerds with Dice Twitter. There, you should be able to find a form there to sign up if you're interested in playing in the next Millennium Knights game. Millennium Knights Chronomask. It is a Power Rangers inspired game, so go look that up. Tuesday, instead of Rifts, the current plan is to do a Christmas special of Chaos Earth. Something Kevin's got something planned, so come check that out. And Monday nights I'm over on the Bardic Knox channel playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I have some games and stuff that I wrote. You can find the link here in the chat or by heading over to Twitter, and there is a link over there. We are going to raid Raven tonight, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
everyone.
We'll see you next week.
You're playing your cards with your queen of hearts. When everyone folds, your fork still holds. You're placing your bet, showing no regret. Close your eyes to hide your lies. Roll the dice. You got me tiptoeing